recording.
Welcome everybody to session 52.
Yay.
The first session of 2025. Last time when our group was around was a Christmas special, so that non-canon. Before that, you guys had officially properly returned from Emberfort. Spent a couple of days in the town, kind of basically coming down from a long journey. You were tasked with tackling a small problem for Sarah, which was going and returning some soldiers that hadn't returned from their trip to recover bodies from the necromancy cave. You would deal with some vampires. They would turn a brand new leaf, and you return back to town. Upon returning back to town, you guys, let me quickly, just because it's been a little while, actually, can't remember last session all that crazily. You guys met up with Nyx. She would kind of divulge her story of how her and her family were attacked by the Lycans, or by the Lycan hunters, specifically Zesu and Kadak's mother, being laid into this trap. Hence why Nyx is so opposed to the Githyanki being killed. You also learned of the mishaps on why the Githyanki were also motivated on attacking Lycans, given the misunderstanding. Upon finishing that, Nyx was agreed upon that she would join you in the planning stage and joining in on the Lycan hunters, the Githyanki's conversation on potentially meeting a truce of sorts. You guys would then go to the training grounds where you would have this sparring match with Nyx and her crew, having done a very good job of handily proving your worth and your capabilities to her and the rest of her proper crew. She would welcome you in and agreed to that you guys would do this for her, with obviously her joining the speaking as well. You would return back to Nyx's place, but while you were doing your planning, Kane would be put under attack by a very large necromantic attack. You all rush to the city and defend its walls against the necromancers. At the end of it, some reunitions happened as both Charles, Azria, and Zesu and Kadak would join in the combat at the very end stages. But before we come back to that moment, we're gonna do a little bit of rewinding. We're gonna go back to earlier that day. Nyx has taken you all to the grounds where the Githyanki fight is going to happen.
Oh, right.
Now,
Joe's like, fuck.
Now, before we go into this, there is something I will have to ask because there is two versions. Nyx addresses your group, goes, now what time of day were we planning on having this meeting? Have you discussed this?
Well, unless Kane gets attacked later today,
Mind you, this is preparation for the day following. Was when
Yeah.
the conversation was planned to have happened.
I have a feeling
Alright.
something bad is going to happen later.
Guys, I'm getting a taste in my mouth.
Warn the
Like,
gods!
I've got
It's
a
like
bad
iron?
feeling about this.
it's like a static in the air. I can't tell, but something's off.
Well, I was thinking maybe sometime in the evening. I don't know if early day, yeah.
It doesn't
I
benefit
think
us
something-
entirely. That's good. Good to know.
Can I put a suggestion out there?
Of course.
That it might be good if we either do it in the either in dawn or dusk. That way, whichever way the sun is pointing at, if we get the sun in our eyes, then it just puts us at a mild advantage. You know, like a raid or an ambush.
But the sun would also end up being in our eyes because it'd be a fight. so we'd be maneuvering around a lot.
Lascivious, if we have our backs to the sun, it's not going to get in our eyes.
So we're just gonna constantly keep our back towards the sun the whole fight.
Well, Lascivious, if we choose which way,
What if it's
People move
completely
around
dark?
in a fight.
the sun is going to rise in the one spot and set in the other spot. So we decide which one we want, and then we face the opposite way, so we don't blind ourselves.
But then what happens if you're in the fight and then you actually get turned around and then you're looking at the sun?
This is just an advantage for the ambush, so they just can't see us approaching.
Well, I mean, we're gonna meet them there. I think.
What if they're not looking towards the sun when we approach?
Yeah. What if
Guys,
they're
I know
actually
this is
looking
like a
down at the
me
ground?
thing, but like
Then it's
you're
just kind of
over analyzing.
moot.
This is to give us a first step into like an advantage.
I
Nyx
think-
kind of speaks up and says, I think what he is trying to say is, would you like shadow in order to hide some of your members more efficiently?
I feel like night would also be pretty efficient at hiding. I think it just. I don't know.
We all have dark vision, or I think we all have dark vision?
Yes.
Yes.
So that would work too.
I'm pretty sure you're the only one who doesn't, as the human.
He's a half
I'm not-
elf.
I'm a
Oh,
half.
half elf. Shit, I thought he was human. That's right. Yeah.
God, why do you misrepresent me?
Nyx speaks up once more. He goes, okay, well, we'll need to make a decision because myself and Sonnet will be leading negotiations. And so we'll need to make a plan on when we will be speaking with them tomorrow.
I guess whichever favors, honestly, deception. Hopeful, like depending on the time of day, they could be more suspicious depending on
Let's do
the
dusk then.
circumstance. Well, let's talk about it and then we'll decide.
Most people don't expect an attack to happen at dusk. Especially as hunters, they're usually more able to approach things at dawn or during the day.
So let's talk about it, guys. Like, what are we gonna? How do we? Let's talk about what we think is the best way to do it. All of us at the same time.
Yes,
Well, I think dawn would be good so that we have today and the night to rest.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you'll have the night to rest regardless.
I mean, I don't know.
It's
I
happening
feel like something might
tomorrow.
happen later to make it hard.
I don't know. There's something looming on the
Yeah.
horizon.
I think we're
I've
good,
divined it
guys, for the
already.
next 24 hours.
Oh,
I don't
fully
know,
okay.
like-
Okay, sweet. That's
Yeah.
actually really nice.
There's always some Murphy's Law that happens that,
What's that?
Sorry, yeah, what is
Who's
that?
Murphy?
Who's Murphy?
Strange.
a guy who had really bad luck.
Oh,
All right,
really?
so
Mm.
Oh,
yeah,
He's in charge of the law?
in like our world or a different world?
I've never heard
Occam's
of
razor.
this.
That's also a different world, I think.
Mm,
I'm from the
think
banishment
it's a
realm. I would
barber
know.
shop.
Okay,
that's what I thought too. In
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's
Back in
Earth.
Imperia, I think.
That's Earth.
What's Earth?
I hate you
I
all.
don't know.
Mephistius.
I'm not
I don't
against
know.
dusk, to be honest. I think that's a fair point to make. That
It could work well for your stealthier compatriots as well.
Sonnet, are they known to be like overtly cautious, like no matter the time of day?
For sure, they're cautious. The thing is that the way that this opportunity is being presented, it is. We are in a desperate move to catch them. I'm gonna let them know about the third-party attack, that it's making everybody leave the den, so we no longer have that vantage of getting them where we need them. But I know where Nyx is, the leader, and so it's gonna be kind of a last-ditch effort to fulfill their goal. I think their caution will be overruled by their
Sire?
desperation to. Yes.
I feel
Um,
like the nighttime might be the best. Tell them that they're moving at night because if the lycanthropes are being hunted, why would they move through the day? When they're aware. So I feel like night would probably be the best in terms of convincing them the situation.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good plan. It'll put us
Still,
at an advantage, like since we're initiating this. But
And the sun
Uh,
won't be in our eyes.
true.
well, again, that was an option. But given that we all have the night or dark vision,
I will control the sun one day.
What do we do about the moon?
That's
Lascivious,
impossible.
smaller goals,
I will
smaller
take the
goals.
sun by my own hands.
Mm.
I'm staring into the sun directly.
Full
Making
of-
But-
resistance.
But yes, I say we go with that. Then we go out. We do it at night, and we take them by surprise. And then, obviously, as you said, we want to capture them, so try to do our best not to like decapitate them or anything. So
Yes. Yes, we'll try our best not to decapitate them.
I can't promise anything.
Cornelia, you're gonna have to promise me right now. Now that you said that, right now you
Yeah.
have to promise me
Yeah, I'm
that you're
sorry. I'm
not going to
afraid I'm gonna have to
decapitate them.
concur
Okay.
with Sonnet here.
Okay, all right, I promise.
Cornelia and I have
Just-
like the
I need you
biggest
to say the
blade, so
full
we better
thing.
make sure we know what we're doing with her.
I
Michaela,
promise
so you
I'm
don't
not
even
going to
have full
decapitate them
control of your
on
blade,
purpose.
so that's
know.
what I'm
Okay, well
concerned
that's
about.
not okay. Well now I'm even more worried.
Lisavius, that's a
So
mental thing. I can swing a fucking sword.
Yeah, but can you stop it from making you kill them?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't look at me like that.
it may be beneficial to discuss the details of the plan.
Yes.
Where I'm going to be bringing them from, where you guys are going to be waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm going to be making a trek back here later tonight. Um, I'm going to place a spell, and I think it'll help us. Um, but yeah, let's go over the plan where you guys are going to go. It'll help me inform me of where I can place my spell.
Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into a little bit of a preparation of map thing. So what we're gonna do is I've done a little bit of preparation of my own
Mm-hmm.
in terms
I
of
hope so.
nighttime.
Nice.
Wow.
That's cool.
So
It's a little bright for night.
I'm gonna
Just kidding.
you shut the
The
Full
fuck
moon.
moon. It's a full moon.
Should be pitch black if I'm being honest.
Can't see anything.
We'll put you guys in here.
Okay.
All right.
We'll bring in Nyx as well because she will be a part of what's going on. Where are you, Nyx? So I'm gonna let you guys kind of do. When you guys, I haven't done this because it's not very often I'm a player. On the right hand side of your guys' monitor, there should be a little drag down menu, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Can you guys, or actually, sorry, on the bottom there's that little menu. Do you guys see the little thing that's a little square that says notes?
Yep.
What I want you guys to do is wherever you would like to try to place a trap or improvise something or kind of prepare
That's
something in
mine,
advance,
Oh.
what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab one of those notes, you're gonna put it to the location that you want, and then we're gonna see what we can do to prepare a trap for it in that location.
Okay.
Or for any kind of preparations that you want to do. If there is a trap that you would like to potentially prep in advance, like a pitfall or tripwires or anything of that sort, this is the time where you can look through your supplies, or you can go back to Kane and buy supplies for said traps, and we will do some rolls to determine how well these traps are made or how well they're disguised, and yada yada.
Okay.
This also works well for any particular spell that you have or are possible able to lay, whether it's like glyphs or circles or anything of the like that you would like to have prepared. This will not be going against your spell slots for when the future event happens later today.
Yeah, of course. Already happened.
So don't worry. So don't worry about spell slots or anything like that in this moment. We're not going to count them towards your total for the day. For the day. Uh, so we're gonna go a little bit by little here. We're gonna start with Sonnet and Nyx because they are the two people that are actually gonna be out and about as of right from the get go. Nyx looks to you, Sonnet, goes, "So what's the plan? Am I staying out here by myself? Are we walking in together?"
I think it would be wise if I brought them here and you'd be meeting here with them.
So I will be here before your arrival.
Yeah.
Is there a plan to deceive them in terms of me not knowing who you are and the connection that we have?
I think it's I still have to meet up with them and I haven't decided on which angle I'm going to, or at least how much I'm going to divulge. I think it'll be wise and fair to um presume that I don't know you. Um
Okay. We will act upon the assumption that I have never met you in my life. Anywhere in particular you would like for me to stay at, in particular?
I think probably right here in the center is fine, because we come in from we come in from the west, right, of the map.
Yeah, you come in from the west.
We'll be coming in from the west. I'll bring them into here. Basically, the guise is that after the den has collapsed, um, you've kind of come here to do any last-ditch things before vanishing for good.
All right.
Yeah, so you'll be waiting here for us to arrive, and same with the others.
Will the others be hiding somewhere?
I guess that's a question for the others. Yeah, what do you guys
I mean, I'll
propose?
obviously be hiding.
I'm assuming hiding for the most part until we lure them in.
Well, I was thinking because, from what I understand, you want to try and talk with them first. I was thinking that I could go invisible and be with you in your space while that happens, in case anything goes wrong or if anything needs to happen.
Sure. I don't know if they're magically capable.
Sorry.
What?
I don't know if they're magically capable,
Hmm.
but I worry if there's any chance that they can see through illusion magic through some sort of spell that it might throw the whole thing off if you're right next to us. I think being invisible close by, still out of sight in a way that you can get to us fast enough if
Mm-hmm.
anything were to happen would be smart. I think just
Yeah,
being right next to us might be a little risky.
that's fair. Then I will do that, and I'll probably play some traps around, just slow them down.
What kind of traps do we have? Just snares or something, or like something to
Probably should be something big for the owl bears, but
right to come in on air owl bears. Well, I'm kind of thinking, Sonnet, because we're meeting in this little pavilion here, right? Or you're meeting them in here.
Yeah, that's
So,
correct.
would it be ideal then that on any entryway in here that we set up the traps, but we don't set them off until or have them ready to go until they enter in?
I'm not sure how we would be able to set them off manually as opposed to just them triggering it.
Because I can do that. And again, out of game or Walker, you
Yeah.
can ascertain this. Uh, I've done this before by letting people pass by, making them think it's safe, and then when a second group passes by, I just practically draw a drawstring to initiate or engage a trap. So then it's
Yeah.
set and ready to go.
Yeah, there are.
So I can nearby with a fishing line or web silk, whatever in Fantasyland, and this like as they enter in to talk with you, then I could set the trap from afar, and so everything from the entryway will be set off if they try to pass by it.
Hmm.
But that means for you and Lascivious, if you're in there, that means you have to either just
I'll be fine.
jump over or mirror magic through whatever you guys can do and just step over it. That's all you really need to do. Is just draw strings and snares. So
I'm not sure you'll have enough time to prepare a large gap of space. However, I'm not entirely sure what you intend
well, listen,
on.
that's the two entrances here. There's one, the main one in the north, and then the smaller one on the east, right, or
I don't
west.
even think you can get through that. I think it's just the one entrance. I don't know if you can get through that crack in the.
So what is it? Is it? Let me point it. It says
Well, it's like a
here. That's the
gazebo.
entrance.
It's a
Think
Oh,
so.
so
full-on
like
gazebo.
you.
like-
So the main area is you come up through here. Typically,
Yep.
people are walking around, and then they can enter from any of these
Yeah,
areas.
yeah, yeah.
So it's four
Oh,
spots.
Yeah, it's a
It's
gazebo.
4 spots. Yeah.
I thought those were walls.
There's technically
And we
a
have-
gap here.
yeah.
Yeah, like
here.
you go through like the stairs to get up onto that platform, but
Oh,
like
oh.
these things here are walls, yes. And then
Right,
these
sorry, I was
here
talking about-
are complete walls.
Oh,
Is it-
okay. Yeah, that's what we were talking
So
about.
you
I
can't
think
just
just
walk
that
it. That doesn't
inner
make
circle.
any like.
So
wouldn't
you can
these be
walk
just
like
Wall.
this.
overhangs that you can walk through. Like that's.
Like it's an archway. It's an archway on
gazebo,
4
so-
sides.
It's
Like,
hard to it's hard to
Path
tell
here,
with
path
the
here.
it's hard to tell with the down
bird's eye view.
with the bird's eye view. But I guess that would make sense that there would be entrances
Yeah.
in there. So sorry, that's my mistake. That there would be entrances along the straight
Yeah,
pathways.
because some of the
Yep.
archways are just destroyed, but so even though we see there's a clearing, but there's still a clearing on each end. So
I look at Mabel and Bonelia and I go, well, Mabel would have the highest advantage being above everything and being able to see everything, and Bonelia probably should stick with her to make sure that Mabel can't, go down or something, because Mabel would be a huge advantage, and Bonelia being able to see everything with her firestorm, that's an advantage.
So we'll have those two support each other on the odd chance that they somehow find themselves in front of those two. That way, again, they could just try to help out each other while we try to get up there.
Michaelis and Sonnet are keeping them busy, but the owlbears are unpredictable. I can
You see
probably
Nick's,
trap one of them with hold person.
Nyx looks to Ophelia. Goes, do you have your medical magics? Do you have a decent range on this? Because the only reason that Nasir was able to launch spells from so far is because he studied to specifically enhance his range.
Oh, my healing range is not very far.
If something does break out, perhaps having your only, or maybe not only, as she looks to Sonnet, you do have two support types amongst yourselves, so maybe having your healers separated wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But
Wouldn't want to lose
from
both
what
of them at
I've
once, so.
yes, having one be high above might actually not be a bad idea now that I'm saying it out loud. But Sonnet, are you
Not that we lose, but
particularly
she's pretty strong, so.
are you more combative focused, Sonnet? More so than supportive?
I would say so. Probably more combative.
But when situation arises, you are able to aid your allies?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. Then I don't suppose it would be an issue if the group is separated far too much. Where is everybody going to be stationed? I would like to know where people are going to be for when the event happens.
Me too.
She looks to Mabel and Ophelia. Where would you two like to be stationed?
I'm thinking
Mabel?
either here on the cliffside or somewhere here.
And I'll be close by.
Okay. So we'll have you two up there, and you can pick whichever location amongst there you would like to be for when the moment arises. Looks to Michaelis. Now, you said you wanted to potentially do tripwire trappings for when they arrive. Where would you like to be to potentially trigger these things?
Well, I can be just a short distance away. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna use the pointer. So, depending on what we have available with us, like we can put a trap. I would like it if we can put it on all entrances to the pavilion, but if we can't do that, then this may be at least like here and here, and then actually wait. Sorry.
And I'll say what kind of trap are you attempting to lay? I should specify, because depending on what you'll need, you'll probably need supplies in order to make
Just
it.
a string to trip them.
I'm gonna make a snare, so when they trip over it, it's gonna wrap around their legs and be taut like a rabbit snare. But it's a be made for
Okay, so it would
humanoid
attempt.
size.
Okay, so it'll attempt to restrain any like humanoid size creature. So any medium, I believe medium is
Medium size, yeah.
what regular people are.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any kind of going through your inventory? Do you have anything that is capable of doing such a thing? Otherwise, you'll have to go and buy supplies.
Give me a sec. Inventory.
And if you feel like you can improvise it with whatever you have, then give me an idea. Maybe we'll see if we'll roll for it.
Health potion, gem.
Because you could theoretically camouflage things as well, using just foliage from around the area.
Yeah. I mean, I have 50 feet of hempen rope.
If you believe that you can tie it around, like use that rope in order to make one of these type of traps, then
Yeah, so unless you want to make me roll for survival, what Michaelis is going to propose, I can take the hempen rope, and then since the strands are strong enough, I can just cut the rope and get smaller strands to make them like less visible, and then I'll cover it up. They'll still snag them, but it's not going to be like you're seeing a thick rope that's right across the beams.
okay.
So I can set that
You-
up for at least like 2 traps, I think.
how many feet of rope do you have?
50.
50? Let me quickly just bump up the opacity on these things real quick. Point to me the 2 sides that you want to do it on.
Okay, and I'm gonna direct my attention to Lascivious and Sonnet and Nyx. It's like what I think we can do. It's like since I want to I want to be able to come and help you guys, but I don't want to trip over our own traps. Or if you guys need to escape if something happens, we can instead put one here, and one here. That way, we can push them in this direction. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
I think it'd
And
also be good to do little potholes every like all around the area. Trip them up and
Make it like difficult terrain or such?
yeah, essentially like
I
maybe
can
at the
handle.
stairwell.
I can handle all the stairs.
Oh, there you
Okay.
go.
So I can put
Lascivious, yeah, Lascivious is just gonna go around and like dig up little holes and then put like little patches or whatever just to make it so like if they go over it, like they can like stumble or like potentially like fall over or something like that, or just like half their movement because they like busted their ankle or something.
It's an old that's an old Castle Siege trick. That's a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll get Michaelis to make a survival check for me.
Survival check. All right.
And we'll see if you can get both of them in or if you have to choose one.
Come on, let me roll. Why won't it let me roll? Okay, am I dumb? I'm supposed to be able to click on it and then it should roll, right?
Could also just use real dice.
Yeah. Real dice work.
What the fuck is it? Okay, sorry, my interface is fucked. I have to refresh the page.
It's all good. In the meantime, while Michaelis does his rolls there, any of the spellcasters, do you have any kind of spells that you would like to lay? I know it's like the day before, but if you have anything that you are capable of laying for the next day, if it's something that you have to set up on the day of, that will take up a spell slot, unfortunately.
I have nothing that I can prepare beforehand. So-
Same.
Mine's gonna be like I'm gonna come back in the 24 hours. So like, sorry, the night of. It's a spell that lasts 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and it's a pretty big one.
Ooh, okay.
I get to create a ward that protects up to 2,500 square feet. And it's gonna do a lot of effects. So, something I've had for the longest time, but never had a chance to use it because it's a pretty
Okay.
big
Mhm.
spell.
Sorry,
Um,
I hate to interrupt, but D&D Beyond is not letting me roll dice at all. Like
So then
the
get real
sidebars-
dice.
Use
You
real
have
dice.
real dice.
I put it away. I don't know where it is.
Fine.
Well, yeah, you have some time. Go grab them.
If it's not gonna work, then you gotta do something else. Lascivious is gonna go up to Sonnet and just be like, "So
Doesn't
you're not
fucking
planning
matter
on?"
anyways. I lost my D20, so I'm gonna use fucking Owlbear then.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll work. That works, I
Lascivious
guess.
goes to Sonnet and be like, "So you're not planning on staying out by yourself the whole night, right?"
um, I think it depends. I'm not planning on it. I'm hoping to get back, but I kind of need this to go off without a hitch.
Oh, I understand. It's just
Ooh, that's
outside
unfortunate.
forces could pose a problem. You mind if I stick around in the area?
Why won't that
I'll
work?
hide, but
Yeah, I guess it depends on if we get attacked by Kane later tonight. But just kidding.
yeah, true.
Uh,
Stupid.
yeah, like I don't need to. I definitely don't need to do this part by myself. I just don't know what everyone else needs to prepare. I don't want to keep anyone awake.
Oh, I'm fine. I got nothing. No magic,
Right.
no special magic at least, and
Mm.
I'm just
And
all
besides, we like
hands.
sleeping in the trees anyways.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. So it works out.
Wait, did I sign out accidentally and now it's not letting me?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No one knows.
No, I think what happened is that because usually when I click on like dexterity save or something, it auto rolls it, right? But now everything
Sure.
is as if it's like a PDF file and I can't click on anything.
Hmm.
So I don't know
Just
what happened.
Just keep using
Just try
the.
to figure
Just keep
it out.
using the. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you
regardless-
want me to roll? A survival?
Yeah, survival.
Okay.
Which was a 6, right? He did roll.
No,
Yeah.
that doesn't count. I was trying to figure out how to roll it.
I will say when you first click on the dice, it just rolls like a
Yeah,
flat
and
thing,
I was
so.
just trying to figure out how to change a shader on it.
Yeah.
I wasn't. Please, if
Anyways,
that's
just-
fine.
no,
Oh,
doesn't
you
you're
don't have
count.
to keep
fine. You're fine.
Okay.
You're fine.
So I double click on it. No, I don't.
You click once, you let the dice roll, and then you click on it and shake it again.
Oh, and I can do that.
There you go.
No.
Oh, that's even worse. Hey, we should have stuck with the 6, eh? Eh?
Mike, I mean,
What's the total? What's the total?
And that one, that's what the total is. The fuck?
What's the Ian? What's the total?
I want
It
D&D
goes up
Beyond back.
immediately.
Ian, what's the total? Just give me the
Dude,
total.
they're gonna show up and
19
Michaelis
solid
is like
Ian,
immediately before they get to
what's the total?
How's the chat's coming on, kids?
Ian, just give me the number. What's the
It's
total?
3. It's 3.
It's 3. Okay. So
Oh,
you
Somebody
attempt
spend a luck point or something.
you attempt to use the rope to make this ensnare trap. I'm gonna say that they can't use it.
We
It's
can't.
not
It's
something
not
you
how
I
that
can.
works,
have
Ian.
more rope for you.
Yeah, you can.
From
you
the
can
cliff
attempt to
side,
do
I'm
it,
gonna
yeah.
shout that.
Yeah. just
So
give it
he
to
just
me.
looks
I'm
at
a-
Michaelis, just like, Michaelis, I thought you were. How did you survive in the banishment realm? How did that work?
Lascivious, I'm having a bad day. Let me be. Mabel, thank you.
Because you
And
were
I'm
really
gonna-
confident
I'm-
earlier, but now it's.
I'm
just,
gonna do this again. I'm gonna roll it again, and I swear to Christ that this roll.
7. That's that's a
That's
10.
a 10.
Hey, you know what? Unfortunately, I'm gonna say with the nat one off of your initial, your rope unfortunately is wasted.
Yeah.
But Mabel's
Too short,
with the
shit.
help of Mabel's rope.
Magical rope.
How many feet of rope do you have, Mabel?
Oh, 50.
It's 50.
You have 50?
It's the same thing.
Mhm.
Okay, so then we'll say that because of you being able to do, we'll say. What we're gonna say is you'll use 10 rope on the first one, being a successful trap that's being placed. On the second one, I'm still gonna say it's successful, but it will use more rope because of some initial failed attempts on Michaelis' behalf. So we're gonna say you're gonna take off 30 feet of rope.
Oh
And then,
fuck. Okay, it works now.
There you go.
Well,
Son of a bitch.
oh well.
I was signed out. That's why.
So 30 feet of rope will go from Mabel's pack. You'll have to remove the rope from your inventory, but you do have the 2 rope traps there.
Throw me rope.
So there's those. We'll have those placed there so that way we know. Alrighty. Is there anything else physically that anybody wants to
So
place?
I
down
just
on the
want
map?
to dig a bunch of holes to like impose like little instances of like a dexterity saving throw to like, catch yourself or maybe like half movement or something.
Okay. Do you or anybody else in your group have like a shovel? Otherwise, you're digging by hand.
I actually think I do.
If you don't, it's gonna cost like 2 gold into town, and you can mark it off.
I have a crowbar. That you can dig with
That
shit.
not very well.
You can trowel with it. Also, Walker, I want to point out when I got to D&D and I decided to roll the survival. You know what I rolled?
Roll like a 20 or something.
I rolled a nat 20.
Interesting.
I mean, at least it's back.
Well,
Yeah.
I have 54 gold. I could get a shovel real quick.
Yeah, it'll only cost you 2 gold to get a shovel. That way, you're not
Okay.
wasting a lot of time. Because if you're gonna do it with the crowbar, it's gonna have you roll a disadvantage.
That's fine. Honestly, well, it depends on what you're making me roll. Is it like sleight of hand or something?
No, I was gonna make you roll either an athletics or an athletics, nature, or survival. Either one of those 3.
Oh, so I'm awful in all of those. Okay. Well,
You
I'll
want a
do
hand?
the shovel anyways.
Yeah,
and then-
Mabel could give you a hand if you'd like to give the help action.
You want to give me the help action?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mabel's in the
all the way up
Mabel's
here.
in the Mabel's in the trenches digging with Lascivious.
So what am I gonna do here? So what were the options? Survival
Survival, athletics, or nature.
or nature? Where's nature? Nature's +2, so I'm gonna do that one. Nat 20. There you go.
Hey, okay, there we go. Yeah, with the assistance of Mabel, Mabel kind of like she
She's
took
supervising.
classes.
Yeah.
She took classes a long time, like along
Strategic
like the nature
points.
course. So she knows like botany and stuff. So
Yeah.
I
she
do have
knows
good
like
nature.
soft ground works well for pit hole traps and for little small areas. So what I'll get you to do with Nat 20, let's let you do
20 holes?
we're gonna let
Dude.
you do
Imagine.
we're gonna let you do 30 feet of difficult terrain however you see fit. So you can select individual squares and they can be counted as individual terrain if somebody who isn't an ally
Oh,
goes
wow.
through it.
Okay. Interesting.
For
That's what we'll
fun,
do
just
for it.
right at the beginning when they walk in the first pair of stairs, just so they can embarrass themselves, and then the rest can be for like.
Let's
Yeah,
break
no.
their ankles before they
be
even
funny.
get to the discussions.
So, just a heads up, there's gonna be web on every staircase.
That's
That's
Web
fine.
on every
already gonna give
staircase?
them disadvantage, and it's only gonna work for people that I designate not a part of the
Sure,
safe.
sure.
Okay,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
So I'm
Um,
gonna. So I just multiple so 30 feet. So I get 5 feet of difficult terrain would just take like 5 feet away from them being able to move, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
And you can spread that out however you like.
I will think about that. Sorry to interrupt, Ro.
No worries. Okay, so all the staircases have web cast on them for anybody who's not an ally to sonnet.
yeah.
Mabel and Bonilla, is there anything that you two do aside from Mabel helping Lascivious?
Yeah. I have 2 costumes. And I want to stuff them with leaves and make scarecrows.
Okay. All right.
Wait,
That'd be
that's so fun.
pretty easy enough considering all the
Yeah.
trees around for sure. Okay. Yeah. What are they being disguised as?
Jesters. Those are the only costumes I have. I've
Casual.
decided.
Just some jester outfits, okay?
Yeah.
All
Just
right.
hanging around.
No worries. Where would you like these to be placed?
See, I can't decide if I want them to like pop up like around here or something, or if I want to fill them with food and use them as like dog
Ooh.
toys for the owl bears.
Now we're talking.
Right?
That's very
In which case we could just like
That's
throw
a
it off the
very
cliff.
Because we don't
Wow.
want to kill them if we have, you know.
right?
No, they're dead. They're dead as fuck.
That's a very interesting idea.
Owl bear dog toy.
Cool, that's the one I'm going with.
Okay.
Wait, Silas is here? When did he show up?
For sure. Using the pointer tool, Danica, why don't you showcase where you would like these dummies to kind of pop up at?
I want them to pop up by the wall.
By the wall. Do you
Yeah.
want them to be like on the platform? Because mind you, that is like a good like 5 feet below.
Hmm. Okay, I want to keep a hold of them. No, I can't throw them. Never mind. That wouldn't work. Okay, on top of the wall then, I guess here. Or like behind the pillars holding up the gazebo.
For sure. So we'll put one there.
I officially have a shovel, guys.
Make
Nice.
make a sleight of
Congrats.
hand check for me with advantage because I really like the idea.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
insane. That's an insane
That's-
idea.
That's a crazy idea.
Can I give advantage?
She already has advantage. I just gave her it.
The
Dang it.
17.
Can I give her double
A 17? Hey, that's really good. Okay. With relative ease, just the idea kind of flashes into your mind on a distracting chew toy like item for the owlbears that you've seen. Very, very smartly. You take out your jester outfits and just begin shoving them with like you collect like the food rations from every person you can in the surrounding. You have to kind of fill it up with like leaves and stuff just so the body is properly plump, but you fill it with actual food items so the smell wafts around. There is a smell of like raw food in the air in this area now.
Yeah. So I want one
Um,
there, and then one. Oops.
This is like, so what
One
food
here.
is in this? Like, I don't
It's
care
Bonelia's
like what's in
mystery
there. It's just-
stew.
I don't know. It just smells interesting. I guess
I don't
Just
know.
like elven beef jerky.
Yeah.
is that like consumable for like people that aren't animals or
Are you hungry?
No, it's deadly.
Lucius?
what? Oh
Yeah.
no.
Were you eating?
No,
Were you eating
no,
something?
no. I'm not
Is
eating
anybody
any of this.
peckish?
It just I'm not eating anything.
Just don't eat all of it.
I'm not eating it, so why would I eat all of it? So
Nyx is kind of like checking around with each of the groups. Mabel, is there anything that you were attempting to do again? Sorry.
I can't prep any spells. I mean, I think beforehand I'll try and do like mage armor.
do you not have any like glyphs of warding or anything like that?
No.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, granted as well, this is just like any kind of physical preparations you want to make to the map beforehand.
Yeah.
You'll always have the chance to prepare
Yeah.
spells before something happens during the
Yeah,
during the
so I
event as
can't.
well. Well, then,
go.
in the meantime, is there anything that you would like to do with the time that you have, considering it is kind of like downtime in a way while everyone's setting the battlefield as best as they can?
Take a nap.
Sylvius is probably just gonna read when he finishes his stuff.
You know what? No.
There's nothing Mabel does in the downtime while everyone's preparing
I
things?
can't think of anything. No, I mean, I can't prepare any spells. I gave my rope. Wouldn't know how to make snares anyway. I... How much downtime are we talking?
Well, I mean, you guys are prepping, like, this is a solid, like, 5 to 6 hours before the event that would happen later in the day would happen. You've got lots of time.
I think maybe because Mabel's not quite sure what she can do to aid this situation. I don't know. Maybe she'll start trying to like decipher Adonis's things, or just like,
For sure.
yeah.
So looking towards the note that you found in Adonis's house,
Mhm.
or in the room that he had. Let me quickly just go back to it. Where are you? So. Where the heck? It's not that session.
Unless there was like any studying I could do beforehand to like, I don't know.
For some reason, I don't have my Adonis note thingy for some reason, unless it's here. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay, so, looking to Adonis's note, you recognize that there are 5 languages that were noticeable throughout it. Now, unless you have a way to decipher all these languages, they are kind of a lot of gibberish to you.
Yeah, I do. I have the spell comprehend languages, but then also part of my third eye, I can just kind of have that. It's like
Okay, then for sure. Using either through your third eye as well as either using comprehend languages, you see this note translated into common. Now I want you to roll a Arcana check for me as well.
Oh, it's a nat 20.
A nat 20?
Hell yeah.
Oh, Walker just got his shit fucked. Walker just got his fucking shit fucked. He's like,
Full
you guys
face
are gonna be able to
betrayal.
understand it. Nat 20, bitch.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I know everything.
But also not.
Okay.
Limitless
so,
in D&D.
So a few
Third eye,
things.
bitch.
A few things, I guess. Little
It was
more than
just
I
happy
was,
time crisscross applesauce on the cliffside. She's like,
For sure.
"Ooh."
First things
Yeah.
first. With
Mhm.
your Arcana check, with you being a wizard for so long, and especially being a powerful one at this point, you can tell a little bit sometimes just through intuition that something has magical effects to it. You didn't notice it while in Adonis's room because there was lots of things going off, but you decide to use detect magic in the moment, and you tell that the note has a magical effect to it. There's an illusionary effect to it, in fact. When you translate this into common, you can tell that some letters are capitalized in spaces that don't really make sense in terms of where they would be. But in the meantime, that's general. If you go to campaign notes,
Yes.
you find this.
Oh fuck.
Oh my god.
And on the nat 20
Gloria.
as well, on the nat 20 as well,
Mhm.
looking through this, something immediately pops to your eye. Obviously, it's a bunch of gibberish when you first read through it. But that first part of it, you kind of recognize something. That is, not only is it a one-letter word, but there's no such thing as a one-letter word that starts with an M. So there's only
Yeah.
a couple of options for what it could actually be.
Unless I just didn't understand that. Can you say that again?
There are only a couple of actual words, quote unquote, that
Yeah.
only have one letter in
Yes.
its spelling.
Hmm.
Oh.
So that should give away what letter that letter is for the rest of the letter.
M.
Okay.
You can recognize that letters have been swapped around with other ones in the alphabet.
Hmm.
Knowing what position they are
I.
is where you don't know.
I is the first one, maybe. I see what's going on. I see what's going on here.
And with your detect magic as well, whether you do dispel magic or anything along those lines, with your Arcana check being in at 20, parts of that letter have become capitalized, which doesn't make sense because some are in the middle of a word, or what would be a word.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you would like to spend your time doing that, you may. It might circumvent something if you want to spend your entire time doing it.
Not my entire time. I think maybe when I like discover this much, I'll keep at it for maybe a bit longer, but I think I'll try and also keep focus on everything else happening around me.
For sure.
Yeah.
You are able to decipher through that, but for the rest of it is so confusing with the absolute gibberish that it is. But translating into English or into common, you feel like you have a better chance for sure. With the rest is also I'll go through everybody one last time because this will be the last one that I'll ask. Lascivious, have you done your 30 feet?
Yeah, the little squares are where I place them.
Gotcha. Okay,
The
perfect.
little one
I
squares.
assume. Gotcha. Awesome. So I'll go Lascivious. Is there any last minute things that you would like to attempt to change to the physical battlefield itself?
I don't really think there's much I can do, to be honest. Other than maybe do another check to see if I can make some more holes. But other than that, like, Lascivious is pretty much like stuck with what he can and can't do.
I'll say with the nat 20, you could attempt, but it might just not be as effective. You might accidentally ruin some of the holes you've already made.
Well, I wouldn't go near the holes I've already made. So.
I see. Then sure, we'll say you can roll another one of those same checks, but this time you can't get the help action.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's not gonna cut it. So it's all good.
For sure. You just you go over each of the holes that you've already made and just ensure that they're good to go.
Yeah.
Bonelia, is there anything that you attempt to do to the physical battlefield?
Nope.
Mabel, is there anything that you attempt to do?
No.
Michaelis, is there any last attempts that you would like to do to something to the battlefield?
I wish I could turn back time so I could roll better.
Aw.
Otherwise, the road traps will. I mean, we got a bunch of traps now, so at this point, I think
Yeah.
they're pretty much fucked. So
And
Yeah.
then
I'm
Sonic.
gonna do a full rest, I guess, since I need to get. I'm
Then
at
we'll
yeah,
work
you
on that
house.
later.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you,
okay.
That's
I
no
thought you were
worries.
asking like just what are you doing because I heard people were like
Yeah.
doing their thing, so I thought I had to choose.
Sonic, is there anything that you do to the physical battlefield otherwise?
No, I think I'm just taking everyone around to show them exactly where the webs are and stuff, and the fact that they're not going to be affected by them, but anybody else will be. So owlbears and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I show them where the stinking cloud are going to be. There's 2 areas of stinking cloud.
Okay.
That heavily obscures the area for anybody not affected by it, but also anybody within it has to do Constitution saving throws against being poisoned. So I put the stinking cloud up top because then people can shoot from the bottom with while being like pretty much in full cover, being heavily obscured. And then I place one of them just outside of the circle. I didn't want to cover Nyx because I didn't want them to be being poisoned while we're
Mhm.
trying to talk and stuff like that. So this is just kind of like I relate to her that this is kind of our exit strategy. Go into the cloud kind of thing, go around through the webs and stuff. You have a way out if it's getting dangerous.
And
For
we're
sure.
also not affected by the stinking cloud, I assume.
Yeah,
Okay.
none of it.
Cool.
Yeah, all of them are like
Damn.
ineffectual to us, so I'm not
Damn.
gonna trip all
Yeah,
of them.
and sorry, just so I know, what is this?
Called guards and wards.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Cards and words?
6th
I have
level
never
spell.
heard of this.
Weird.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I took it a long ass time ago. I was thinking about doing it during the fight with the in hell and stuff like that, but I didn't have the 10 minutes to set up.
Right. Oh, it's only 10 minutes. Well, I see.
Wow, yeah, that is
Perfect.
for sure.
perfect
That's
spell?
nuts. Yeah, that is a perfect spell, especially since it lasts 24 hours.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's nuts. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Uh for sure. Okay, so with everybody having prepped what they can, I'll say with you have some downtime as like you've set up the area as best as you can, knowing what you kind of have. Now, Sonny, are these glyphs or these spells, are they just automatically active or do they
Yeah,
trigger?
they're active. There's certain ones like I could place suggestion and stuff like that. I chose Stinking Cloud, so those will be active constantly. But there's ones that do trigger. All of these are the active ones.
For sure.
Um, and then if they're like
Nyx,
blown away or destroyed within 10 minutes, they appear again. If
gotcha.
someone casts Dispel Magic on it, it'll only do it on one effect, so they'll have to
Oh
go
Cool.
and do every
shit.
single one.
Damn.
Cool. Wow,
Jesus.
that's nuts. Okay.
Effectively multiple spells going at once. That's fucking
Yeah,
wild.
that's crazy. That's 6th level for you.
Yeah.
Vesuvius will never get there.
Nyx kind of gathers everybody around for one last kind of corral. Because, I'm going to go home and get some last preparations of my own. Meditate on the thoughts, on what is needed to be said and what may happen. I thank you all for your dedication on this cause. Showing that you all have great character.
Likewise.
Nyx looks to you, Sonic, and goes, I do have one concern. If these effects are active at all times, what is your plan for when the Giths see them?
Well, the webs, I'm just going to tell them that this is your doing. I mean, you're going to be a careful person. It's not like you're out here just defenseless on your own, and they should know that. You're prepared to be hunted, you just got attacked.
Okay. It's you to make sure that your plan is foolproof.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
I will see you all tomorrow. May you get some good rest. As she gives you all a nod and begins to leave. The 5 of you have, like I mentioned with Mabel, there is quite a bit of downtime before, as you guys are kind of like prepping these traps and laying your spells. Is there anything that you guys do in this brief, like, 4 to 5 hour interlude. Mabel spent her time kind of deciphering Adonis's note. Do any of you, the rest of you, do anything in this brief time period? If there's anybody that you wish to contact or any kind of shopping you wish to do or anything along those lines, this is your kind of moment to do so.
I just steal a bunch of shit. I'm just
You
kidding.
can try.
Charles, if we
Yeah.
get attacked tonight, don't show up and make a big
Don't
deal
show
out of it,
up.
okay?
Hey, I promise I
Don't.
would be able to steal a bunch of shit if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. So
Is that be in
That's
the middle
so
of
funny.
negotiations, and the twins are going to turn around to their owlbear and see Lascivious going through its saddle? It's like,
I'm like picking its fur and eating the bugs like a monkey.
All right.
so they say,
Uh,
well, that one's special.
I guess we'll go one by one. Bonelia, is there anything that you do?
Nah.
Lascivious,
She stands in one spot for 6 hours.
just absolute
Respect.
stillness.
Yeah.
The thing only Lascivious does, like I guess, like just in terms of like actioning, is that he goes up to a wall, just like while we're waiting, and just starts, you know, not like punching it hard, but like punching the wall, and
What an edgelord.
hey, you don't have to ask why he's doing it.
To look tough.
Sure.
Michaelis, is there anything that you do in this time?
Yeah, I'm gonna take because we're gonna have a long rest later on, right? So
Oh yeah, you can. You have at least one full night's sleep before this talk with the Yankee anyway.
so the next 5 hours, I interlude between this practicing my throw with the sword at like a tree or something, and then also after taking breaks, I don't even want to call this like meditating or something, but I'm just trying to like speak with Odessa, or just like, I don't know, just like trying to like figure out this like about the trial and things like that. Just like,
Like you're
say-
trying to speak to Odessa?
well, yeah,
call
just
out to
like say, since the last time we talked, say, is there anything that came up, or like, it's like, you know,
For sure.
on the bed, just like twirling his head. Oh, no, no, no.
For sure.
Just
what
like
we'll
any
do
pertinent
first-
information, like meditation wise.
What we'll do first is we're gonna have you roll a strength check. So you're just gonna roll a d20 and add your strength modifier. We're gonna do that 3 times.
Oh, so I can do the yeah. So
Let me know when
D20
they
plus
hit the timer for when Ian starts talking to Odessa.
All right, first roll is 15.
15, okay.
Second roll is 18.
Okay.
Third roll is 24.
24. Awesome. All right, so with this, you on your first bit of like practicing with throwing the sword, you're having like a tough time getting in tune of like the proper aiming on it. You're not getting very large distance on the throws. You're getting a lot of oomph into the impact, but you're having trouble actually honing in on it. Upon the second, after your first break, you go back into it and you're getting much better. You're kind of nailing closer to the targets of where you initially want to throw the sword and recalling it back with ease. After getting kind of exhausted and doing that second one of really trying to hone in, during your last attempt, you are able to begin nailing the spots. You're kind of hitting the trees in the same kind of area over and over again, causing one to eventually fall. Calling it back, you begin to start hitting stones and they begin to crack with each kind of go. With this kind of training, we'll say that your weapon now has the thrown property. At this point in time, you are only able to throw it 15 feet.
Am I
You can-
able to recall it?
You are able to recall this, yes.
Now, does that take an action to do?
Yes,
Or
it is still an attack action,
right?
and it's counted as a ranged attack, but you will still use your strength modifier as if you were making a melee attack.
What does it
Okay.
take to recall it?
An action.
Bonus action. We're doing a... Did I do it as an action? As the recall before, Ian?
No, this is the first. I think this is the first time I'm actually able to recall it, because you said beforehand I
Well,
wasn't.
Yeah, we'll test it as an action. We'll test it as an action, and then
So
we'll
that
see
means
if
if I ever
it's...
rage-
I think that would be not great, because that would mean that every time he throws the sword, he has to lose a turn of
Well,
fighting.
I was gonna
Well,
say, because if I
the
rage and I get 3 attacks, that means I attack, recall, attack. But
Well,
I
that's
can't
the
recall it.
reason. Well, the reason I say as an action to test it is because this is more or less something for if he is out of reach of a target.
Yeah.
If he's used his movement, it's his way to hit a target while not having
Yeah.
any
So
kind
anything
of problems.
flying or something, I would use it then. But otherwise,
Exactly. We're gonna test it as an action, and if it's absolutely horrible, maybe we'll switch it to a bonus action. But for now, we're gonna say calling it back as an action.
Also, Ian, even in regards to that, you would actually in what you just said, it actually probably would work. So never mind.
Yeah, so we're
I
gonna-
look at it. I look at it like Thor, right? Like, because
Yeah.
Thor, like, he uses his hammer. He only throws it when he needs to. So
So yeah, we're gonna call it an action to recall it for now, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Alright.
But with your range, we're gonna say now that you can increase the range on its throne property, but it's gonna take some time practicing with the actual throne property more. But now after all this time of actually practicing with your downtime, you are able to throw it and call it back.
neat.
After you've finally gotten a handle of being able to aim this thing like Bane had, you kind of sit down and reflect upon your time with this weapon and the fact that there's a trial coming up. And give me one sec here. You sit down kind of off to the side from the platform. You put the blade into your lap and you begin reflection. And while you're thinking, you begin to think about the different people who have held the sword. You know of Killinger, and you know of Odessa, and you know of Bane. Thinking to how you've utilized this weapon, how you have hit with this weapon, and just kind of the time that you spent with it and the effects that it's had on you, you close your eyes and begin to focus. You feel this kind of energy begin to swaft around you, almost like you're lifted off the ground lightly. When you open your eyes, you find yourself to be in this cloudy area with nothing surrounding you. It is a vast emptiness, but it is strangely calming. You hear a voice ring out in the emptiness that goes, Michaelis?
Odessa.
What can I help you with?
I just been mediating on things, and just thought since the last time we spoke and such that if there was any more advice you had pertaining to the trial, or what have you been able to detect on the outside world in our travels?
Well, I can sense turmoil in the people around you. Seems there is a lot of stress. Seems there's a lot of uncertainty.
Well, that's kind of like a common thing. Feel like we've been, as like, not to make a joke out of it, but like we've been through that, I think, quite a lot of times. So it's not a foreign feeling to me. So
That is true. I find that I am learning from you and your group as you've all have traveled, little by little. I can sense divinity amongst you all. Almost as if there is some thing out there that was watching or overlooking.
I think it's probably more than one of them, but yeah, I think so.
I would not be surprised given the recency of events that happened amongst Orlais.
Odessa.
Yes.
Back when you were, I guess not in the sword and such, did you have a group like I had, or have, I should say?
I did. I had a small group. There was only 3 of us in total. Unfortunately, egos came to clash and we separated.
Was this before or after you got the sword?
Afterwards.
Hmm. And was it the very sword that you're in and that I'm holding was the cause of this split off?
It was one of many reasons, unfortunately. The weapon was having more influence than I should have let it to begin with, and then there was jealousy involved, there was fear involved, and
How did it
I,
end?
there was a conflict between the other two. There was a case to be made that the weapon was causing issues and making me become more reckless with the jobs we took on. I attempted to say the other, but I was neglectful in the fact that I was ignoring my friend's advice. Eventually, we all agreed that splitting ways would be the best decision at the time. Biggest mistake of my life.
If this is too much of a personal thing to bring up, was it the sword that finally claimed you, or did you die in battle and then got stuck in the sword?
I died in battle. I was in a desperate situation, and I had to resort to drastic measures.
What happened, if I could ask?
I was fighting terrible monsters. Beasts that would terrify you just to see its shadow, let alone its true nature and form.
Otherworldly beings of some sort?
Not otherworldly, these were regular creatures found in nature. Things, picture Tarrasques and the like. Unfortunately, I was not strong enough to deal with them on my lonesome. And in my hubris, I fell.
And another one came to claim the sword, and so on and so forth.
Yes. Most of us are defeated by the person who then wields the blade next. Hence, you and Bane.
You and the Trask, I guess? Like, no,
No, the Tarrasque never wielded the sword. That would be absurd.
I mean, it'd be kind of funny.
I'd be terrified of a Tarrasque wielding engraver.
I mean, again, not to make the whole joke of a situation, but it'd be kind of funny if it's just like you, Bane, Killinger, and then a Trask is just in there with you. Like a animal just running around.
You hear a small little chuckle that kind of just echoes off into the space. She goes, that would be kind of funny thinking about it.
It's like your own pet, your own pet of some sort.
It could be. Why did you want to speak with me, Michaelis?
I
I've practically given you all that I know of at the moment about the trials. It feels like you want something or need something.
My hope, as I told you before, is that I'm hoping that I'm able to break this cycle and I'm able to free you all from the sword. That is my hope, and that with your help and possibly maybe with the others if they're willing to, or just you and me and my friends, that we defeat Killinger and expel the souls from the sword. One of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you now is, and in the off chance that for an alternate plan, because again, as you know, I'm not very acquainted with magic as much, but what I've read sometimes in the books I've read and such is that sometimes you have to go through an equivalent exchange of some sort, that you can't just 100% get rid of something and expect nothing to be given back to it. Does that make sense?
Yes, there is an exchange in a way, unless you're capable of dominating the sword, such as Bane.
And so this is my proposition to you. Because right now the reason why the sword is sapping strength for me and is a more of a, pardon the pun, bane to me is sorry, I better not hear him laugh. But, anyways, but he or Killinger is the main reason that this sword is a detriment to me. But if there was somebody who was less likely to sap it and instead be an ally within the sword, if for some reason we're not able to quell Killinger, that Killinger could not be removed, owned, or replaced, that you might be the one to replace him. I still want you to get out of the sword, but in order to help you get out, if we're unable to just wholeheartedly get rid of him and free you all, it might be a better way of like maybe putting you up on top. You help me, and then I can try to help you get out on the final stretch. I don't even know if that's feasible, but it's just a thing I thought I should ask you about it.
I have never thought of this before. I will give it some thought, and I'll reach back to you when I believe I have an answer that is worthy of speaking of.
Do think about it. I don't expect an answer now, or if you don't want to go through with it, that's completely understandable. Freedom is obviously the better option, but if you're able to become King of the Sword, or I guess Queen of the Sword, then I think that's a
Yes.
better option than Killinger adding me to list of people who's were in the sword. So
You've given much to think about, Michaelis. Thank you.
but I should probably go and rest, and we got a big day tomorrow, so you and the sword and everyone else will I think do well tomorrow. So
Well, it's in your hands, isn't it? And you feel the energy begin to kind of wisp around you as you were taken back. You begin to hear the winds from the cliffside as well. You hear your friends kind of going off and still laying the traps. You hear the shoveling of Lascivious digging these smaller holes. You see Sonnet beginning to lay his glyphs around that
Oh,
trigger
I'll
the
have to do that
webs.
later. I'll have to do that later tonight.
Okay, yeah. This is just for the thing.
Yeah.
And you come back. You feel better holding the weapon. You initially had this trepidation with the fact that Killinger tends to just come whenever he wants and intrude in your thoughts in sleep and kind of leave these horrific, vivid feelings. But calling to the blade yourself and speaking with Odessa has kind of filled you with a little bit of a light, almost encouragement in a way, as you leave that space. We come back to sorry, real quick, did I miss anybody on the downtime beforehand?
Don't think so.
Okay. I'll say this is the last bit that I'll give before we go back to current day. If there's blah, blah, if there's anything that you wish to speak to each other about, now's the moment to do so before we go to the moment that we last left off at.
I got nada.
Same.
I'm good to go back to the present, I guess. So
Okay.
recall.
You guys finish up the preparations that you can in the moment. You hear the call for help from Sarah. Go through, defeat the undead, and we come back to Kane. It's the middle of the night. You're surrounded with lots of undead corpses returned to their dead state. Zesu, Kadak, Charles, and Azria are in the area with you all. The battle has settled. And the moment has kind of calmed for a bit. Charles kind of like beckons everybody together.
Nobody's still down at this moment, right? Everybody's up?
No, everybody's back up.
Okay.
Charles kind of beckons everybody back out to the front gate area. He goes, "Is everybody all right?"
Feel like a
Yeah.
pincushion, but I'm good. I'm good. And you see me just like pulling off like arrows from my my chest plate and such.
I'm doing great. As Lascivious puts his arm over Azria.
See, Azri just kind of like, Virginia, like she takes both of her hands, and as she feels your arm like go over her shoulder, she practically like grabs it,
Nice.
and just like you feel like kind of like gentle squeezes from her hand.
Chill.
Mind
What's
if
the
I?
situation?
Everything inside is going fine now. We were sent over to this side because apparently the only constructs that were shown were on this side of the walls. The rest were mostly just regular undead. What are these things?
Just awful, terrible things. Just these robot, well, like mechanical, fucking killing machines. I don't know, yeah.
Corpse carriers of some sort. But practically, I think they're just kind of like battering rams for the necromancies, or the undead to follow through behind. Those things are very hard to kill, so I kind of look at them as like battering rams.
And you see, he kind of like looks to you all, and he kind of like he lingers on Mabel for a second, and then looks over to the two Githyanki, and then returns to your group. Someone want to explain who these two are?
Yeah, they're definitely not people we want killed yet. Maybe.
Roll an insight checks
What?
on it.
Saw it right there.
Yeah.
Saw it right there.
They're right behind
You said maybe.
Right beside us.
Well, no, he took us away from them, right?
Yeah, Charles has called you all
Okay,
to be away.
We're gonna kill him.
That would be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You see Zesu go up to Kadak, and you see Kadak has pretty much like burnt armor from head to toe. He looks unscathed physically, but looks like his armor is charred and heavily damaged. You see like Zesu's kind of like patting off and checking over the armor, and you see Kadak look over to your group, and you see that he is staring daggers at Charles.
Yeah. And I'll look at Charles and I'll be like, in trying to keep relations. And then I'm going to brush past him. I'm going to go up to Kadak and Zesu. I'm going to start casting Mending on his armor, Kadak.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of like brush past Charles. Charles kind of like looks to you and like gives you like a couple of like his sight lingers on you for a few moments before returning to the group. You go up to Zesu and Kadak and cast Mending on Kadak's armor. Zesu looks to you. Goes, "Ally, I hope."
He's an ally. The fact that you've escaped unharmed was his doing. I think that was just the most he could control. I apologize, but we can mend this, and I'm glad you're in good health. And I'll just keep mending.
See, Kadak kind of like keeps his eyes on Charles. You can see like they share like a glance for a split second, and Charles kind of like they hold for about a couple of seconds, but Charles eventually looks away. Kadak kind of looks to you and goes, "He's weak. Cannot even hold stunts after what he nearly burnt me to a crisp."
Well, if you felt the firepower from him, you're lucky you're standing at all at this point, so I don't think we should be talking about weakness. I think we should be acknowledging the fact that heat of battle, he didn't kill you, and we have a plan, luckily, even to salvage your armor. So I think this is a win-win, don't you?
Roll a persuasion check for me.
Yeah. Ooh. That is a 17 plus. What is my persuasion?
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, that'd be a 25.
25. You see he like holds firm on his like glance at Charles, but eventually he kind of like looks back to you. I guess I can look past for now.
Also, there's been a change of plans. Are you guys heading to the tavern later?
We're going to check on our bears first, but we will be there later tonight.
I'll meet you there.
You see he, Kadak kind of like, properly like adjusts his armor after your mending is done. Zesu kind of like, looks at the armor and then looks to you. Rolling off your insight from before, you can tell she's impressed with the fact that you're mending his armor as well. She kind of like gives you this small like smirk out of the corner of her lips, and both of them begin to walk back towards the gate as the doors begin to kind of open up slowly. You can hear like a small conversation happening with Yankee as they continue on into the doors and leave the area. With the group, Azri kind of like looks to you all and goes, I am so sorry that we were so delayed. Charles was trying his very best to make us as late as possible, it seems. As she kind of like gives him a look. She goes, I just need to make sure I brought as many things as I thought possibly helpful. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Can never be over prepared.
Hey, everyone's.
Yep.
We're all together, so that's cool.
Yep.
You know, been a while as like Lascivious kind of like nudges like Azria.
You see Azri kind of like, all of you see like Azri begin to like lean like further into Lascivious, like the more like that she's there. She's like, it's like somebody's attempting to like use him as like a point of leverage, just constantly leaning against him. Azri kind of speaks up and then goes, do we all go inside? Do we speak to who's running the place? What's the deal now?
I guess we should go reconvene with Tessara and see what's going on the inside. Make sure everything's okay.
Yeah.
And I just start walking with Azria towards the inside.
For sure. The 7 of you begin to make your way towards the gate. The group kind of catching up with you, Sonnet, as they begin to walk. On the way to the city, or on the way to the main capital, you see guards are kind of wheeling or carrying out people on these gurneys that are injured soldiers. Some have like dented in armor. Some look like they have broken arms or legs. Some people just kind of wandering with small wounds, kind of tending to each other. You even see that female warden that has taken over Harrison's position, even kind of like guiding traffic throughout the city and such. The internals of the city looks to have not been damaged too much. There was like potentially a small hiccup with some undead kind of coming in through some of the broken gateways, but it looks like they're being repaired as you guys walk through in that very moment. As you guys kind of like finish up, whoever would like can actually no. What's everybody's passive perception?
Don't even bother with me, dude.
17.
22.
18.
What is? Oh, 19.
11,
Okay.
10 at once.
essentially.
You guys see, just as the commotion is finally stopped, you see just out of like the corner of your guys' eyes, Lascivious too bothered with reconvening with Azria.
Hey, baby.
You see Lyric has a small group of about 3 to 4 people, just kind of carefully walking to the street. You see, like he has his eyes like pinned, and they are looking practically everywhere. As you can see, like he's taking some of the last few of the Lycans out of the city, knowing that he's fully leaving the area.
Mm.
He kind of like stops and notices your entire group and just kind of. He lingers for a moment. You see, like he takes almost like a half step to go towards, but stops and then goes back to the group to continue taking them out of the city. You guys make your way towards the inner gates. They've opened up, and you see there is a large crowd with Sara kind of on this small little pedestal, just kind of giving a general address to everybody, giving out orders like to send small groups to go help out any kind of the wounded soldiers, anybody who has medical capabilities to go help with the med tents, anybody who has carpentry work or stonemason work to go and help begin to make repairs on the walls and the doors, kind of giving out, like, acting like a queen in a way, properly handing out positions of work to be done to help prepare the city back to its state. She sees you, Seven, kind of come in and hops down and makes, stopping mid-sentence and hops down from a platform, begins to make a beeline. The people almost spreading apart to give her away as she comes up. I'm so happy to see that you all are mostly unscathed. Michaelis, you have a lot of... You see she like goes and she like takes like a small piece of an arrow out of the armor.
Yeah. That was happening quite a lot, and I'm gonna say this: we really need to trade our guards better.
I'm sure they were just trying to get as many of the undead as possible.
Yeah, and granted, I was kind of surrounded, so yeah, but I'm pretty sure at least a couple of these arrows were our people. But again, this armor and such, it helped. So it takes a lot more to bring me down. So
she just kind of like pulls like a small cloth out from like the inside of like her coat and can like polishes off like a little bit of blood off of it. Just, you should keep it very well polished. This was your father's, remember?
Oh, I know. But like my father, he used this before, but I'm gonna make sure to keep this in tip-top shape. Pretty sure he's. I recollect that he took a couple of big hits at some point with this, and he always fixed it. So.
You see, she just kind of like places her hand onto like the shoulder piece and has like this deep breath. This is the first big attack that Kane has had since my return, so just a little overwhelmed. Anything to report otherwise? Any information? Where did they come from? What happened?
We successfully defended it. We had some help from some friends and allies. Otherwise, I'm gonna turn back to my friend, to you guys too. It's just like otherwise, like I know that's not all the constructs because we only saw 3 of them. So I think there was at least 19 that was reported when we last went to look for your men. So there's more out there. That we know for sure.
Yeah, I don't think there is really anything to get any real context of where they came from or anything like that.
Did you manage to capture any of them alive, like ones from before?
Sorry. Last session, didn't we capture one?
You brought one in, yeah. You brought
A
Kaikar
necromancer.
from.
Yes.
Yeah. She was hoping for like either one of the mechanisms or one of the necromancers as well, but either way.
We can maybe get Cal Hobbs to try and do like a what's it called? Like a post like a mortician.
Like an
Post-op?
autopsy? Is that what you...
Autopsy. Thank you. Sorry, I missed the word. But autopsy. We can maybe he can take a look at the Eternals, try to crack one open, see how it works. Because as of the last couple times we bumped into them, they kept on. I could barely do anything. Only blunt force trauma works on them. You gotta like
Only force and mainly magical effects work on it. Anything physical didn't have much effect.
Psychic damage surprisingly works.
Yeah, so no fire, no swords, nothing like that. So I'm kind of useless with that. But so like those guys said, so we can stock up on that. Again, we can get Cal to help. maybe Jotun can send us some of those explosive crystals or ballistas.
I will send a raven to Emma to see what they can do about getting Cal Hobbs here down as soon as possible. Thank you all so much for coming with such haste.
Have you had any other reports from Velstead with Urzen?
Nothing yet. Nothing other than his arrival.
Right.
Still no word from Silvus either, though.
Yeah, well, we do have a couple other things to attend to in the next couple days, but otherwise, we do plan to try and go down to Velstead to talk with Urzen. Just about the war and some other matters at hand.
Okay. It'd be good to have the drow back with us for this, as this attack was devastating and it was small scale. So having them assist us would be.
We
Greatly
haven't heard any
appreciated.
other reports from the other cities being attacked, like Port Creighton or Emberfort,
Not as of yet. If we do, I assume we'll get it shortly,
in the next few hours or a day or so.
potentially. But as of right now, we only know that we were attacked.
Right. Okay. Otherwise, everybody here, I believe, knows what they're doing. Like they're all doing the same thing: burning the bodies, disposing things.
Mm.
Logistically, they're all good.
Yes, and you see she kind of like you're kind of going over like the proper aspects to keep these things away. She kind of looks away from you and kind of eyes Charles and goes, and I'm so sorry to have sent you and your friend off to help in the combat, but thank you so much. As she reaches a hand out and Charles takes it almost like immediately and goes, it was not a problem. I'm glad to have helped. He, stop it! Charles, let's go. Is there anywhere that I can set up my books, set up a station? And, she kind of gestures behind her to the war room. Goes, you may take up the war table. You all may come and join as well, if you would like. We're just gonna go over what needs to be done for the city. You're welcome to join, but if not, just regardless, thank you for helping. And her and Charles begin to attempt to break off and go towards the room.
I think Lascivious looks at Azria and just kind of tries to gauge like what she wants to do.
You see she's kind of like watching Charles walk away. And roll an insight check for me, actually.
Ooh.
Checking out that ass.
That one.
She's cheating.
Look
Is she
at that
cheating on
body.
me?
Look
I'm
at
gonna
that
use a
body.
luck point, because why not? How many luck points
I
do I
will
got?
go. Walking down the street.
Oh, full on.
Everybody's lost.
Okay, me use another luck point.
Okay.
Oh God.
Can anyone else make an insight, or is
Just
this just
another luck point.
lascivious in this moment?
Just Lascivious, because he's got his arm hooked with hers pretty much.
Yeah.
Insight is going to be a 16.
16. You can see there's some concern on her face as she's watching Charles kind of walk away.
Lascivious just kind of looks and goes like, "Do you want to go somewhere and talk about it?" Like,
If you think it's worthwhile.
sure. And then I'll just bring her to my place, where Michaelis' mom's place
To
is.
my place.
Wow.
Uh,
You better not use
do you-
my
do you,
bed.
like, are you bringing the
I
rest
swear
of
to
the
God.
group?
I'm just going. Like I'm
Just
just like,
going?
hey guys, like me and Azra, we're gonna head back to Sara's. So
I'll see you there in a bit then.
don't join me.
Yeah.
Nope. Don't
Pardon?
join me.
You see, Azri just like turns her head back and just gives him a little wink. Just
Oh God, no! No, it's my house.
Well,
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna
go back to my
talk
house.
privately. I
Mom.
don't want you to be there for what we're talking about.
No, I'm just saying that when
Talking.
you see Azri just like give
Talking
Mikhail another
about-
wink. Goes talk.
hmm
Yes, talk. I don't. What do you mean?
I'm just saying, like, eventually
Bye,
I'll be
listen.
back
Bye,
at my
Michaelis.
home.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
I hope it's a good long talk.
Which,
His bedroom is on the right, first door.
Yeah.
I hope it's only a 30-minute or 30-second chat.
Sure. You and Azure break away, and as you two are walking back to Michaelis' house, there's silence for a little bit. You see, she has a little bit of like this concerned look is still on her,
Mm-hmm.
and she goes, "I'm a little worried.
About?
He seems off."
Okay, how so?
There were points where we were defending Port Creighton from just small, minor undead attacks, just like a few things here and there. And I don't know if it was with what happened with you all, or if this is a side effect of him coming back, but he just
Hmm.
he seems less remorseful.
Interesting. There's a good chance that that our deaths, well, clearly the death of Mabel really affected him, so maybe he's done being
Just-
overly cautious.
Well, I hope he puts that remorselessness to better use.
You didn't notice anything else in battles with him?
No, just he doesn't seem to hold back anymore.
Hmm. Interesting.
I noticed during the fight with everything in the undead, the fireball, he didn't even look. He sent it and just connected with his target. I just worry that he's gotten careless in the pursuit of making sure either Mabel's safe or just you all are safe.
Yeah, maybe a talk is in order then, but we'll
Come to that when
we'll
it
see.
comes to it. Regardless, I'm so happy to see you. As she just like practically like clings around you, like her arms like wrap around your neck. Like it's almost like it's like those moments where, like people like connect to each other at the airport. She like holds
Yeah.
onto your neck and like you two swing around, like her feet like dangle as she
I'm just
swivels
like carrying
around.
her back.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy to see you too. This has been a very odd time for me, not, being separated from you and all. And yeah, so, but
Is everything okay with you?
better now, I think. I've kind of went through a process, and now I'm kind of out of that process, sort of, but not really. But I think something I would like to do, though, is talk to you about what I was going to talk to you about. On the show.
Sure, absolutely.
But we can wait till we get to the house.
For sure, you can show me the sights of the city while we're on the way.
Sure, that's
There's
a building over there.
Yeah, it's a lot of just buildings, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a fountain in the middle. Stuff.
She just like, yeah, you just kind of like show her like
So he
basically
has
just
no
kinda go
clue what
through.
any of these places are.
Honestly, going through a lot of it, there's not a lot of like attractions in the city.
Mhm.
It's very function over form.
Sky's still above us.
Yeah. And we'll come back to the two of you. The four of you are kind of like outside of Sara's war room. Charles has gone inside at this point. Lascivious and Azri have gone off. And what did the four of you do?
I'm gonna go help with healing. Beats.
Okay. For sure. Bonilla, you head off into the kind of the main sectors of the city, kind of going through to different med tents and applying healing word or cure wounds. Kind of going through and just helping people as much as possible. While you are out, you get a message in your head. You hear a voice you haven't heard in a little bit. You hear this kind of very light-toned voice go, but Bonelia, this is hopefully the right person.
Hello?
You hear like the voice kind of continue going off. It's like, hi, it's me, Sky. I don't know. Hopefully you remember one of the Titans. Yes. I just
Oh,
wanted to say that recovery is going well. I should be relatively okay to fly somewhat soon. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought. I guess little damage amongst my wings were a little more intensive than I thought. I'm sorry about the delay.
Oh, that's all right. Take your time.
You also hear her kind of go off and goes, also, you met my brother, right? You met the wave?
Yeah.
I attempted to contact and I haven't gotten anything, but I can sense his movement.
Where is he?
I can't pinpoint the location, but I don't mean to alarm, but it feels like it's getting closer.
Well, that's not great. Thank you for letting me know.
I wasn't exactly sure who else to tell, so you being our champion in a way, figured you would be the person to contact and know.
All right. I'll let everyone else know as well. When you do come down here, it's probably best not to interact with him right away.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Come see us first.
Okay, I will speak to you when when I'm back up to tip-top shape, and I will come down and we will speak.
All right. Have a quick recovery from Bonelia.
For sure. You kind of continue going off through, and just kind of continue to mend as best as you can. Yeah. Why don't you roll a perception check for me too, while you're at it?
Okay. It's a 13.
13. Okay. Don't really notice anything too out of shape, for the most part. Sonnet.
Yeah, so it's just me, Michaelis, and Mabel still
Yes.
left right now.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'm going to. How's Mabel looking health-wise? Because I know she went down, but I don't know how much health she got back from. while
I'm
we
at
were fighting.
24.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to cast a highest level I can do right now is a 4th level. I'll do a 4th level healing word. I'll kind of just approach her and place like a gentle hand on her shoulder. And yeah, I'll do a 4th level healing word real quick.
For sure.
Okay. I did 11. 12, 13. 13, 14, 15, 16. 7. No. 18 more health.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll place a hand on her shoulder and then I'm sorry, I know you got pretty beat up back there. How are you doing?
I am okay. I'm good. Don't worry.
Hmm.
How about you?
I'm all right. I'm a little concerned. I'm glad that, Kadak wasn't hurt, but that was a little much, I thought.
Yeah, I didn't really see what happened, but he did like his armor was burnt, and they were kind of
Hmm.
giving each other the stare down.
Right. Yeah, he just Charles casted a fireball at them without really a regard for the spatial surroundings. Um, just didn't really have much thought,
That
but
doesn't
again, he didn't
sound
know.
like him.
He also, he didn't know whether or not it was an enemy or not. They didn't meet. I think the thing that was different for me is that he didn't, um, yeah, really take the chance to figure it out before. But, um,
I can talk to him. I need to
yeah,
talk to him about everything anyways, but like I can bring that up because that's
right.
yeah, a little concerning. Yeah.
Yeah, tonight should probably be a good night. I kind of have to. I think I'm gonna go see the twins.
Right now?
Explain to them about yeah. It's the only way that I can naturally bring up the change of plans. Um, and then I'm gonna place a hand on myself, and I'm gonna cast Death Ward on me.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of.
You're kind of cutting.
You cut out for us.
Oh, I don't have many resources left, but this should help
Are you hurt?
a little bit. But again, don't really have much left.
I'd like Mabel to also place a hand on Sonnet, maybe just kind of pushing his hair back a little if there's any like blood or debris, and I'm gonna do a cure wounds
Oh.
because I have it.
My God.
And I'm going to do it.
Wait, you could heal yourself the whole time? What the
No,
hell, Mabel?
not
Just
the
kidding.
whole time.
It's better when Bay does it.
I have other spells to worry
Yeah.
about. Okay, that's what my
You know when
slots
you
are
get
for.
food and it's made by someone else and it tastes better? That's kind of.
You know what? We'll do. Oh, I don't know. Okay, you know what? We'll just do second level. So that is going to be. It's gonna be 16 plus 16.
Nice.
Damn.
Sonnet is a level
Nice.
3 and only got 18.
Well, it was a healing word. It's different. 0 wounds is D8.
That should hold
Thank
you
you.
for a bit.
Hopefully. And hopefully it doesn't come to them mauling me.
Oh, don't
But
say that.
well, I mean that's why I'm doing the death ward. Just in case.
Well, yes, but I feel like you saying it out loud makes it all the more real, and then that's something that I don't want to think about.
Right. Right. And then after I have to go back to the site to place the traps.
How long do you think you'll be gone?
I'm
Just so
not
I know when to get worried.
right. I'm not too sure how long the conversation's gonna last. And honestly, I was supposed to be out there with Lascivious, but he's kind of gone now, so I don't really know what the plan is there. But I'm just gonna go do my thing.
Yeah. Maybe message when you know.
Right. I'll message before I leave the city, but I think after that I won't be really in. Well, actually,
When you're close
with
enough.
the yeah,
And I can sending to you as well.
right. That might be the better cause. The sending is a lot easier.
If I could just take this moment and say I really don't like the plan. I really hate it. I kind of hate all of this. But
Which parts exactly? I mean,
Oh, just the part about, you and going by yourself with the twins into the place, and then knows what could happen during that amount of time, and then the whole you being the closest to them, and if they get really mad, you're the first target available. But, you know, that's also to say we'll also be there, and it will be okay.
I think when it comes to the fact that you guys are going to be there on the grounds with me, it it makes it hard for me to have a doubt in my mind that things won't end up okay. I I truly believe that when it comes to you guys. I think for everything else that has gone wrong in my life, when it comes to you guys, things seem to be okay.
Yeah, it'll be okay. I believe that as well. I just can't help but worry. But it'll be fine, like you said. Just wanted to be honest and like forthcoming with how I'm feeling. That's all.
As she's like talking, I think I'm just gonna place like a gentle hand on her cheek and just kind of give her like a soft peck on the cheek and be like,
Mm-hmm.
I understand. I'll do everything to ensure my safety, not only for my sake, but for yours.
I'll ask. Now be gone, and she'll turn around.
Yeah, be gone.
Be gone.
Away with you.
Sonnet, you kind of split off.
Mhm.
You begin to make your way through the city. You go to one of the many different taverns. You go to the Silver Swan in particular. This time of night, it is very like there's hardly anybody in it, with the exception of like some tired-looking soldiers. You go to this one in particular because you do see Zestu and Kadak walk into it from a distance off. Going into the area, you see they have a corner booth just kind of off to the side. You see Kadak is just kind of like polishing the heavy plate that he has on, and Zesu is going through a small. Looks like she's going through a couple of pieces of paper in front of her. The one of the barbers kind of comes around. It's one of the half elven women that are kind of like floating through with like a small little levitation mat just to enhance the image. She goes, table for one?
No, actually, I'm joining them over in the corner, the friendly bunch.
You see, she kind of looks over and she goes, "Oh, okay. Here." As she hands you
Oh.
she hands you a menu. She goes,
Yeah.
"Just call me over when you need what you want, I guess."
Oh,
As she
of
just like
course.
kind of she leaves like mid sentence. You see, she has like this
I'll
kind of
just,
like you see she has a almost like insulted face as you point
yeah.
off to like that table. You can tell they probably didn't say anything great when they came in.
Okay. Well, not off to a good start, but I'm gonna move over to the table.
For sure. Kind of plopping down. Who do you sit beside? Because it's a two-person kind of booth. There's Zesu on the back half, and then Kadak on the other half.
Flip a coin, make a chance.
I feel like I know, well, like, interact with Zesu more. Yeah, I feel like I sit next to Zesu, I give a nod to Kadak as I sit down.
Mabel will remember this.
She's not here. She has a glyph
Yeah.
of ward, or she like has the warding, the eye out above us. I'm like, oh shit.
I'm
Crying
not
currently.
hidden. Yeah, you sit down next to Zesu. You see she kind of goes through the table. Your passive perception is above a 15, right?
Yeah, 22.
You see she's combing through the list of the lichens.
Mm.
Ooh.
She is kind of going through, kind of like going off of like the names and just kind of like scanning them for a while. You see there's a couple of notes on a couple of the names. A lot of them are specifying like heard of, never heard of, known,
Yeah.
never heard of. Kind of like they're going through to make sure to see if they can check off a list essentially.
Yeah.
Kadak kind of like looks to you as you sit down and gives you a small little nod. Thank you for mending my armor.
Of course. Yeah, I thought it was a little bit, reckless what happened, so I apologize on his behalf.
I just hope you know how to punish insubordination when you see it.
I look over to the notes. What is that?
Zesu kind of peeks up. We were handed a list. I believe yesterday. Just because I can't remember what day it was in the timeline.
Yeah.
Recently, by an elven man with a list of names. These we believe to be Lycan names, considering Nyx is on the list.
Right. Well, if I may, I think this might be involved as to why there's been a change of plans. Whoever gave you this list did it ever so recklessly.
How so?
They attacked the den. That's where we were supposed to get all of them rounded up.
You see,
And
like,
now,
Midris, that she, like, slams her hand down the gun. Ear stick! Oh,
Yeah.
I knew half-elves were untrustworthy.
Hey.
and now there's...
Sana just right there.
yeah, Michaelis again just shows up in the
How
booth
dare
behind us.
you?
I look in the booth behind us, it's all of my companions with, like, glasses on. Just, like, sitting
With
there.
the fake mustaches.
Yeah. Um,
Sorry.
You see Kadak kind of like go. We had said that we were cautious of this note. And I believe our caution was warranted.
who delivered it?
Never said his name. He had ginger hair, looked snobby, almost anorexic in weight.
He didn't say how he acquired it, I'm assuming since this is the first time you're hearing of it.
Zesu kind of speaks up. No. The man simply gave a list. Said it was from a friend.
Well. So, the reality of the situation is, the den is in shambles, the lichens are scattering. There's not a way that we can complete this list. However, I have a lead on Nyx.
You see they both kind of stop. They lift their head and they like look around to see if anybody's listening. And then they kind of lean into the table. What's the info?
Since the den has fallen apart, she's taken refuge, somewhere ruins, a little bit away from Kane. She's preparing to leave. I think after we miss this chance, she'll be gone for good. I'm sure they'll be even more cautious than they were before.
Well, you must go now!
Well, no, not now. We can't go right now. They're being very cautious. They still may have other lichens nearby. The thing is, they also have dens, other dens. They're going to be retreating into those. We only knew about this one in Kane. We have to bide our time. We know that she's going to be there tomorrow night. That's the last night.
You see Zesu kind of like looks to you. Goes, so we capture and interrogate.
That's what I'm thinking.
Devious. And you see she like, you can like feel her hand like go and touch your leg underneath the table.
Ew. God.
Like it's just like a
Yeah.
small
Ma'am?
like,
Yeah.
a small like
Oh my
like
God.
not like a grab. Like it's just
Yeah.
push it onto your leg.
I think it's just the visual
Yeah.
of it being under the table where I don't see it and I just
Yeah.
feel it while she's like,
Ugh.
yes. I'm like,
Uh,
oh.
you know what?
Get your
We're killing
fucking
her. We're
frog
killing her.
fingers
They're
off
gonna
me.
die. That's just, there's no way.
Can't
That's
redeem
right, I
this.
said it. I used the F word. I called you a frog.
Yeah, I kind of like, I don't know. I'm okay. I'm
Throw
gonna
you
make a
off.
performance check. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a performance check to not like just in the
Throw up?
exact moment, just like kind of yeah, maybe
Sweat it.
no, more so kind of like recoil from the touch itself.
For sure, yeah.
I just haven't been touched by a woman in a long
It's
time.
Mabel. It's Mabel.
Yeah, I'm
Mabel,
just
Mabel.
this is it's been so long. Um,
Mabel doesn't give me shit.
That's
it is
solid
a
right
33.
Hey, there we go.
33. Okay, yeah.
Just
You
like,
managed to keep your cool, just knowing like it's just part. I'm just playing a part right now. I'm just
Yep.
playing a part.
just like,
Yeah.
just like no, just no.
That is exactly what I think he does. Just,
Yeah, I'm just like I'm sitting there. So tomorrow night, we're going to
Then you just lock
um
in. So tomorrow night we're gonna do this.
yeah.
I don't know
So
why
tomorrow
this
night.
is so fucking funny.
Because it's funny.
So tomorrow night we'll meet up. I'm gonna take you there, and we're going to confront this all along for good.
Are your friends following suit?
No,
It
they
is-
actually aren't too privy into the liking side
Yes.
of things of what I do. I'm sure you're familiar. What does your dad think about all this?
You see,
I
you
didn't
see
process that.
Zesu, you see Zesu and Kadak. You see, there's like a halt for a second, and Kadak kind of like looks to you and goes, "The man is not proud. However, he's misguided. He believes that this is a sin amongst people. But he doesn't understand. Who's our mother? He's family as well. And he just lets it bypass.
What exactly is the end goal?
Eradication of the lycanthropy disease.
And after that? Have you thought about what you're going to do?
You see Kadak like holds himself. You, not even without needing to roll an insight, you see that he doesn't have a plan after it's done. Turning to Zesu though, you see there's a small smirk on her face. She goes, "When this is done, I believe a challenge for leadership is in order."
You're gonna go after your father.
He is weak-minded and is not willing to allow the Githyanki to progress.
What does Kadak think about that?
It's yeah. Can I roll an insight on Kadak
Sure.
to see what he feels about the
Yeah,
challenge?
absolutely.
Well, I rolled a that's going to be 7.
Oh,
7? He's hard to read in the moment. He looks like he's still in thought of what you asked earlier.
You talk about eradication of lycanthropes. What do you feel about eradication of lycanthropy? You have a shaman that's capable of curing it.
See Zesu kind of like looks at you for a moment. Are you pitying lycans?
I wouldn't say pity, no. They're a cursed people.
You see, or you feel her hand let go of your leg.
yeah! Fuck the bitch. Like that. Like,
She returns to the list. And you see she kind of like combs through each one and she pauses. She goes, each one of these people had a chance to speak to Vok. They know the fact that he cures diseases, rids curses, and none have tried to step forward. They want this. It is a part of them. They spread it like a virus, and a virus needs to be destroyed at the source. Once somebody gets rid of it, they can get it again. And they will. And they will continue to spread it. You have to remove it entirely. People like Vok, who just allow these people who have this to just come into our region, our home, is a risk just in itself of getting more people infected.
So this is about justice?
You see she pauses for a second. She goes, justice is what initially motivated. Purification is the end goal.
When you bring up something that sounds maybe noble, when it comes to justice itself, justice isn't something that you always feel good about doing. And it seems like this is something that you always feel good about doing. Justice isn't self-serving. Say you want to kill all lichens. Is that a solution? Or is that a blanket covering a bed full of hurt that you will one day lie in?
8 Mile, dude.
Certainly, it's a final solution.
You see she stops. And you see she takes in your words. Let's roll an insight with advantage.
Ooh. I don't know if I like that.
That is a dirty 20.
You see there's actual consideration. And what you said has kind of gone through. And there's a moment where you think that there's a glimpse of second thought on it. But as quickly as that kind of comes across her face, she rips it away and restores her confidence in this thought. It was, I do not dabble in philosophy and ideals. I
Right.
matter in solutions.
I understand that. Do you mind if I tell you a story? And I'm also gonna wave the barmaid over.
Sure, she just kind of... You see Zesu kind of leans back into the chair. The barmaid kind of comes around. She goes, drinks for the table, I assume?
I'll just look to Kadak and Zesu. Poisons of choice.
You see they both kind of like look. Kadak orders just like a traditional, just whatever craft kind of beer they have. Zesu orders the strongest thing they have on the menu.
Mm.
And
I'll also get the strongest thing they have on the menu.
they come back around with the... She comes back around the drinks, kind of places them on the table. And is just coming back if you need anything else. And she goes off. Zesu looks to you and goes, well, you are a bard. Bards weave stories.
Don't we? I'm sure you remember, but I, too, was victim of an attack by a monster. I lost what I had dear to me then, as well. It's something that I have been dealing with for all of my life, and like you, I have been working on the solution. I had it all clear in my head. It's something that is consuming. I think that ever since I met you, I don't know why, it didn't seem natural, but you connected with me. But I think it's because you know that I understand exactly what you guys are going through. From the core of it. Now, I can't guarantee that I can bring any remedy to what had happened. But if I keep going on like this, I'm gonna fall apart, and it's all gonna fall on me, and it's all gonna amount to nothing. I'm sure the same fate lies for you too. Something about monsters, and fighting fire with fire the way that you guys are. You feel like you have to become a monster, but the thing that you don't realize is that you don't have to match the thing you are fighting. You have to surpass it. And if you keep fighting the way that you believe that they do in savagery, you'll never surpass it. You'll just end up part of the flame.
Zesu looks at the list and folds it up. She goes, I think we've spoken enough.
I'm gonna chug my powerful drink.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep. Oh, thank God. It rolled like off the nat 1 into a 18.
You
do I
take no
have
damage.
Okay, thank God. Yeah, nice. That would have been so embarrassing. Spit all that and just like
Choke on it, spit in her face.
Yeah.
Kadek gets out of the booth, and Zesu kind of like the three of you get out of the booth together. Zesu and Kadek kind of look to you. Zesu is holding her. She's holding herself quite well.
Yeah.
Or quite strongly, I should say. She's got her like body language wise, she is protective, very
Right.
much so. Kadak is kind of like looking between the two of you, and there's this almost, I want to say, ounce of like curiosity you can tell between,
Mhm.
but he kind of keeps his eyes on his sister for the most part. Zesu looks to you and goes, I understand what you say. But know this. The brightest flames burn the quickest on it. But the flame that I produce will never go out. As she attempts to like move past you, as she like walks like a couple of steps ahead of you, she kind of like turns her head and goes, when the time is right, Sonnet, I hope the flame doesn't burn you.
Regardless of the outcome, I'll accept it readily.
The two of them make their leave from the tavern. The barmaid comes back to you and goes, "Oh, I guess you're taking care of their tab."
Yeah, that was always the idea. How much?
You get -5 gold from your person.
Nice.
500.
Mabel and Michaelis.
$100,000.
Mabel and Michaelis, you two are, as Sonnet, Lascivious, and Mooney have gone off. What did the two of you do?
You want to go first?
I mean, yeah, I think you know, the moment that Sonnet left, Cornelia's off healing, Lascivious is with Azria. I think it's just Michaelis and me in the hallway. Wanna go
So,
to your mother and Charles, we can just.
Yeah, I'm guessing I'm just gonna have to. It's gonna just like hurry up and wait until we get with this plan with the Gift Yankees.
Yeah. Did you have any plans in the meantime?
I guess I'll tell you what I told the sword. I know it's a weird sentence, but
Mhm.
because you know how I told you guys about the trial and such.
Yeah. Any other news on that?
Odessa didn't really give me much more information besides what she already told me about the trial and Killinger and everybody else. But I've been dwelling on this thought that on the off chance, and I'm just letting you know in on the plan in case if the trial happens and Plan A doesn't work. I've kind of developed a Plan B, but I'm not sure if it will work, and maybe you'll have a better understanding of it with
Oh,
magic
Michaelis,
too.
I think if you come up with any plans, we should know all of them.
I don't know if
A
that's like
all
a
the way to Z, you know. I think
I don't know if
like,
that's a compliment or a beratement, but I'll take it as a compliment.
okay, but you were saying? Mm-hmm.
Um, jokes aside, on the off chance that we are unable to rid Killinger out of the sword and free the other souls in the sword, my understanding of magic is that sometimes instead of like outright making the odds completely teetering, like there's no equivalency, like an equivalent exchange of like magic. That if it doesn't work, that we're unable to get rid of whoever is housing in the sword, like who's the leader in the sword. That we are somehow able to do this, and with Odessa's help, which she said she's gonna put thought to this, is that it is possible then that we could put Odessa in charge of the sword, and then it wouldn't be sapping from me because Killinger's doing this. Because Killinger's able to choose whether or not it like becomes like a vice more so than an ally to me.
Right.
If again, if we're not able to get rid of Killinger, Odessa could possibly take over the sword, and
But
then
how
would
would that
actually.
work?
I would have
Would she
to.
have to fight him?
I would have to
Again?
dominate the sword, she said, but she is planning to try and help me. It's kind of up in the air if anybody else within the sword is willing to help me. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Bane wouldn't help, but maybe he would. I don't know. Right as of right now, it's just been Odessa's just willing to help me during the trial, and
And you trust her.
I think at this point, because I don't want to outright just say because I have to, but also because this is the first time a plan like this has been devised. Because all the other ones just completely fell into the sword and either got completely taken over by the sword or they died in battle and got stuck in the sword.
Right.
Odessa, she died in battle with the sword, so it didn't like completely take her over. And she told me that Bane was able to dominate it, which is why he was able to retain control over it. But Bane was already a bloodthirsty devil anyways, so that didn't really change much.
Perhaps from the sword as well? Some influence has to be there.
I think it does, and I think since Bane and Killinger were on a safe wavelength, it wasn't really eating away at him. He had no trouble killing people, so... otherwise, that was a thing me and Odessa was discussing, and I'm hoping. I don't want to assume you just know how to instantly do things, but if you're able to help with like somewhat assisting Odessa if we're unable to just get rid of Killinger, that we replace him instead. That Killinger would have to follow what Odessa says, and like if Odessa has the power to commandeer.
Are you asking if I have magic that could help with that?
Yes, and
I'm just not quite sure, like, how. Like, sure, the plan might be to make her the one in charge, but how do we do that?
I think that would be a point that we'd find out during the trial. Like, honestly, I think, again, it's either I dominate Killinger, and then if I'm unable to get rid of him or free everybody in the sword, then I think the only option would be it's like, okay, I defeat Killinger, and instead I let Odessa take over Engraver, and then at a certain point later on, I try to free them. But at least then, with Odessa being in charge, it would be
Right.
way easier of a deal for me to free
Well, no,
them.
of course, for anyone really.
So I think that is like, like even though it wouldn't be it would be ideal to like free them instantly, like with Odessa. But
well, of course,
it-
if we can't, this is Plan B.
yeah, this is old. This is a very old magic item. Like Engraver is very old. It's been around for like God knows how long, and so this might be this old magic that refuses to die. So, but then again, I don't
You-
understand magic as much. So
You guys
True.
get speaking of it, there's kind of a agreement that between the two, just off of what Michaela said, that he's kind of nailed it on the nose, and that a lot of this will depend on what's happening during the initial trial itself. Being it's like divine magics in a way, with the sword being a godly weapon, it's not really magic you can meddle with until it decides you can. Just as like a foot point to it, knowing of arcane and such.
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll hopefully this trial stuff happens at a good point, but who's to say?
that's also another point I should bring up. And again, nothing really vocal. That was I feel like Bane, Odessa, and even Killinger kind of alluded to this, but given how this has happened before with us as a group and on our own individual
Yes.
because these aren't really correlated to each other, but because I'm also trying to find out what happened with like my memory stuff and such, that I would believe as a tactician and such that Killinger might try to do this trial or try to do this during a point of contention for me.
How would he be aware of what goes on around?
Because he's in the sword and I carry it around with me. So
Yes,
I
but
think
But is that to say that anything that you're aware of, that it's aware of?
this Engraver and in effect Killinger feeds off emotion. Like that's what like the hunger, the cravings that I get to want to kill in something, like that comes from Engraver, but I think it also feeds, it goes both ways. If I feel any sort of like, if I'm pissed off or if I'm like distraught or something, I get this feeling that Killinger, I don't know, like usually
I mean, maybe it's possible. Maybe at a moment that you're stressed, it'll make things even worse.
it's just been lingering in my head that I don't, whatever happens, whatever I may find out or something, it's either gonna get me really pissed, really angry. I don't know what emotion I'm gonna feel. I don't even know if I'm gonna be affected by what I'm told.
Well,
So
I guess just to lay some groundwork then, maybe easier said than done, but of course keep us in the loop if anything should happen, but take care to manage yourself and your emotions and try not to overwhelm yourself. I think that's important.
I'm gonna certainly try.
Just deep breaths, Michaelis, that's all.
Well, I mean that's the first step, I guess. So yeah.
And thanks for saying that. It's kind of great when you tell us stuff. Not gonna lie.
Look, I know I haven't been perfect with trying to tell you guys everything, but I've been trying more and more. It's kind of easier to talk to you than Lascivious, but nothing against Lascivious.
Maybe that
Maybe
just means you need to talk to Lascivious even more than me. Or
Yeah.
anyone else for that matter.
Yeah.
Even though I am the most understanding person in the world. But I understand.
You guys reach this kind of like, don't want to say conclusion, but reach a peak.
Yes, conclusion.
Um,
To the war
you
room?
both know that you need some rest, and whether you have other things to attend to for the night, you know that you should tackle them before, because next day is going to be pretty big. So kind of go one last bit here. Mabel, was there anything last minute you'd like to do?
Yeah. Probably knowing that it's late, I won't keep too long, but to pop in the war room with
Yep.
Charles and his mom. Yeah.
For sure. You see Charles just kind of going over, like, you see he's got, like, small, he's using levitate to make the small kind of, like, pieces of rubble kind of act up as, like, makeshift walls and things like that. There's small diagrams that are being drawn onto a map that kind of goes through what repairs he essentially wants to make and where he wants to try to get as many enchanters to go through and enchant walls. Essentially just going through it a tactician mode, you see. And Zara is there, just looks almost amazed at the fact on the amount of detail that he's going into for each sector.
Yeah.
And is just kind of paying as much of an ear as she possibly can.
Yeah, I think Mabel kind of lingers by the entryway a bit, kind of watching, maybe thinking about what she remembers, what Son had told her about what happened. And, I think she'll take a few steps in, kind of make her way. Maybe as like a callback to like the first time in the campaign, she'll be like, "Need a hand?"
The two of them kind of like
Callback.
perk up. They perk up from the table, and Charles peeks up and goes, "Any kind of magical intellect is welcome at the table."
I have plenty of that. And she'll make her way, kind of get settled closer. What are you focusing on?
Mostly defenses. I'm getting Star to send out word to any kind of enchanters across Ecrium to see if we can gather as many people as possible to do enchantments on any kind of the walls that will be essentially protection from good and evil. Just to try to beef up as much of the defenses of the city as we can, as well as trying our best to get more of the fighters to learn arcane elements, just so we have a portion of advantage against these machines.
Yeah, wow, that's a lot of work.
Rome wasn't built in a day, or whatever they say in Fantasyland.
What's
The equivalent
what's
to Rome, yes.
Yes.
What's Rome?
Orlais was
Romulus,
Orlais was
actually.
Zawar wasn't built in a day.
Yes, I understand that. Yeah. I see that. You think this will be an all-nighter sort of situation?
I think for me at least, I should immediately go to applying as much as I can. This place is in deep need of repair. I don't mean to brush aside a reunion.
Oh, no,
But-
I get it. We've got stuff going on too.
I would like for us all to have a proper catch-up once everything is settled between my edits to the to Kane, and then of course whatever you guys have going on in the city. I wish I could be of help in the moment, but I am needed.
Yeah, no, I understand. I'd rather you here helping everyone. There is a lot to speak about, to tell you. I think the most important thing just to get out of the way is both may know of us. It's likely she does.
See, he kind of like stops. Just kind of thinks for a moment. It was too good of a secret to be kept. It would have happened eventually.
Yeah. It would have been nice if we could have had some sort of advantage, maybe going back home at least, but you know, who's to say we won't figure something out?
We have you and the rest. That's advantage enough.
Yeah. Okay. If you need to tap out, I can just message me. I can handle some stuff for a few hours.
I'll send you a message, and I'll call you over if I need assistance. Thank you.
Okay. Guess I'll go then, and she'll kind of take her time, maybe stepping backwards.
You see, as you go, you see Charles almost immediately, like, without even like a beat, kind of
Oh.
turns to the war table and continues kind of going through what he's doing.
Oh, rejected.
Damn.
Oh, she was trying to be silly.
Side piece
Okay.
ain't no side piece anymore.
Oh my
Now
God.
you're just silly.
I think Mabel will stop for a second, just in the middle of the room. Definitely not used to that.
You're supposed to simp over me?
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
I think in that moment, maybe some silence will pass, and then her voice will suddenly come back, and she'll say,
You're not yourself.
You when you're hungry,
Yeah.
suckers.
what's-
I don't know you anymore.
she'll say, what's she gonna say? So you almost killed that guy.
Fireball,
Four.
really?
You
With
see
the
Charles kind
fire.
of like Charles has his head like still painted downwards to the map and goes, "It was necessary. There was a necromancer up on the platform.
But also someone else.
He was fine, wasn't he?"
What if he wasn't?
He just kind of straightens himself up. He goes, "I think we should discuss this later, Mabel."
I appreciate the sentiment nonetheless. Alright. Good night. And she'll kind of step out. And if Michaelis is in the hallway, she'll be like, "Hey, Michaelis, let's like go back to your house, dude." It's like,
Do you,
Buddy
Do you
realized
go
he ain't
anywhere?
getting none and stopped giving a shit.
Michaelis, is there anything that you do before Mabel comes out, or do you wait around or anything
Just
like
stands.
that?
I'm just this would be like.
Earplug
I
for
feel
both.
something scratching my side, and I pull out another tip of an arrow to stick in my arm. It's like, all right, I'm going home. I'm taking
Just
this
a
off
small
because
pile.
I'm gonna like take off my chest plate and it's just be like clattering of his arrowheads just
Yeah.
popping down.
My
I need
God.
sleep.
Mabel, you come out and kind of convene with Michaelis.
Let's
throughout,
go, buddy. Arm in arm.
Everybody kind of
Okay.
eventually reconvenes back to the house for a moment, or for their rest for the night. Sada, you go take care of your magic placements for the night. I'm coming to you, Michael. Be patient. I'm coming to you. Before everybody does come to the house, so as you have a moment with Lazria, the house is kind of quiet to kind of eventually come to Michaelis' home. Azria looks to it, goes, "No, I kind of expected his house to be smaller. I'm not sure why."
Wow.
Well, he's like royalty or something, I think. Something like that.
I'm not surprised. I mean,
I am.
yeah, I feel like a lot of things surprise you, darling.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I'm not familiar with a lot of things. It's poor boy problems, orphan problems. Well,
You
I
shouldn't
guess
really
not
blame it on that. You shouldn't. Yes, you have a family, Lascivious. You're fine.
Just as a recap, just because I don't
Yeah.
actually know how much Azria is aware of Lascivious' situation, but she
Mhm.
knows that Kapir is Lascivious' dad and that
Yep.
Vaxis is a thing, right? Did Lascivious ever
Yep.
mention that? Okay, does she also know that Lascivious is an elder being? Or that he is
I-
a deity of sorts?
You explained to her that you were some sort of a deity, but there wasn't exactly sure of what exactly the
Okay,
context to it was.
Deity nuts.
Cool, so pretty much more or less the stuff. Lascivious goes, so there's something for you in my room. I'll give you the full context once we get there, but I don't know
Oh,
the
you're-
significance of it, but it is yours. So,
It's mine?
yes, follow me. And then Lascivious
Sounds
takes
so
her.
dirty.
Lascivious takes her to his
No,
room, to the room he's staying in, and then he opens up the door and he just kind of looks around to see if the dragon
It's
is around.
small, it's red. I don't know what color the dragon is, but it's got a bit of a bite to it, and it's all yours.
It's the
Lascivious
one-eyed
kind of just
dragon.
holds out his hand, just like waiting for something as they walk
She
in.
she just kind of like looks around. You see, there's nothing in the immediate vicinity. Nothing is there.
He just goes, does like a little like,
You
Yeah, boy.
you hear this little chittering from the roof.
oh,
Look up and you see there's nothing.
what the heck? I
Wow,
look
it's a
down.
Minion.
You are you sure you have? There's nothing.
I swear, if this thing ran off.
What thing? That's when That's when you're kind of like looking around the room again, and then you see something. Give me a perception check, actually.
Okay.
Oh.
Nah, just use his passive.
That's no. That's gonna be a 15.
You see something with a shape moving around on the ceiling.
Wow, shape.
I just look at it and go,
Like it is. There's like it's morphing the image of the ceiling.
oh. I just look up and go, here now.
You see this. You see the pseudo dragon come out of invisibility.
Oh.
Yeah.
As you see this little pseudo dragon is kind of like it's got its claws like dredged into the ceiling. Now that you're looking more so, you can see like small little imprints from its tiny claws along the ceiling
No,
as well.
that's not. It's not your. Okay.
You see it begins to like scratch at the ceiling like a cat, like at a, like a
Down.
scratching post.
Down. Get down off the roof.
goes,
Down. Down.
As it just like it drops down and lands into your palm.
But it's still really small and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's
Okay.
it's the same size.
And Lascivious kind of just holds it up to her.
You see her eyes stare at this thing, and you see that there is like her pupils dilate.
Mm.
Like she just looks at it and goes, "Where did you find a pseudo dragon?"
So that's the interesting story. Do I have the full context of how Sonnet and Mabel found this?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe
that
they
is in
explained
the
it.
house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lascivious goes, so Lascivious kind of hands it to her to like get it to like be with her to like so she
pseudo
can hold it for a
dragon-
bit.
The pseudo dragon kind of like pauses at her palm, like she holds like both hands outwards.
Yeah.
And the pseudo dragon kind of like crawls along your hand and like begins to like sniff hers for a little bit, like a puppy who's sniffing a new person for the first
Yeah.
time. And then it eventually like almost like it wraps itself around her hand, almost like a
Mhm.
tiny gardener snake,
Yeah.
and just kind of like is there with like its top half of its body just kind of like looking towards her. You can tell she's never, aside from potentially a look that she's giving you,
Yeah.
it looks like she's never loved something more in her life.
Adorable. Lascivious goes, I'm glad you're enjoying this, but I might be about to ruin this moment for you. So just sit down.
She she goes and takes a seat on your bed.
So when we were in the hellscape, when we died, we were in the hellscape. I forget if I told you. It's been a while, but
I kind of figured you'd go somewhere.
yeah. your dad was there. And apparently, with this specific little guy or girl, I don't actually know what it is. But Mabel and Sonnet found its egg in a little thing in, I'm assuming, your old home. And this was a gift to you from your father.
You see she is just staring down at this thing. You can't, her hair is kind of covering her face a little bit the way that she's just looking down at this thing. You see there's a few moments of just silence. And you hear like a very small, like almost hushed tone as she goes, "Fucking idiot." She holds the dragon up, and you see you can see that there's tear stains down from her her cheeks. But she has a smile. She looks to the dragon and looks to you. This pseudo dragons are very rare. They are, not only are they rare, but they have meaning behind them.
Oh.
Typically, somebody gifts somebody a pseudo dragon in a meaning of a couple of different ways. One is just as a gift for honor and nobility, but the other one is a sense of fulfillment. They're supposed to symbolize a completeness without having to be over the top. Typically, people get these massive things, these massive oil paintings done in immense detail, or they'll get the finest jewelry or the most powerful magical artifacts. But a pseudo dragon is a dragon without needing to be tall and menacing and dangerous. And yet it is complete. She kind of like begins to like hold it upwards, and it kind of like slithers around her hand and her fingers and her wrists, kind of like just like a gardener snake would. Just this tiny little thing going around until it kind of wraps around her hand and kind of like pokes its head up. And she says, "He wasn't the best person in the world, I know.
I actually, I don't think I can bring myself to hate him like I did. If it weren't for him, I'd be dead."
You... How?
Well, in the hellscape, we fought a archdemon, and your dad helped us out. And the thing killed me. But through some sort of method, I don't know. I wasn't there, obviously. I was the one dead. He, I guess, transferred his life to me, gave me another chance, and now I'm here. And on top of that, too, I kind of got a better understanding of his side of the story, and as it turns out, it's a lot similar to mine. He was trying to help you guys. Your mom was sick, and then got in too deep and couldn't get out anymore.
She stands up for the bag and she just wraps you into this super tight hug. As you feel the dragon kind of like slip from her hand and go around both of your guys' necks, almost almost like this scarf between the two of you. And Azra just kind of whispers to you, I guess he figured out there were only two things that I love more than anything in this world. Pseudo-dragons and you.
Oh, you must really love pseudo-dragons.
You see she like pulls you back and kind of like lifts one of her arms and has the pseudo-dragon go between the two of you. And it just kind of like rubs its head between the two of your guys's. It kind of breaks back and goes back to her hand, coiling around it. And she looks to you and goes, or I really, really love you. And then she kisses you into this super, super long kiss.
Whoa. Another thing I wanted to talk about. That was great. That was really awesome. That was super sweet. I don't know if I really clarified this before, but the current theory is that I may be an elder being, which is, yeah, and, I figured out what the likelihood is about my, soul. And so...
Are you sure you want to dump all of this at once?
I just
Because
figured
again,
I would get it out of the way, you know?
I just want to make sure you're okay. Something with the soul is big.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of what it is. I mean, it's pretty, I guess, intense, the situation, but I mean, it doesn't change what's going on right now. So, yeah,
So what's the deal? We get it back or what?
well, Lilith, I guess, kind of just has it in her pocket or something. That's kind of the deal. Like a
pog?
What's a pog?
I don't know what. I just let me like, just in case you don't actually know what a pog is. Let me know. Like, tell me what that is, just real quick.
It's like the like the little toys things you would like hit. I guess maybe it was like a thing that my people did. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to have toys, I guess, to know what it is.
Oh no! Oh, the
Anyways,
Scythian.
the thing that I think is the scariest part is that I don't know what's gonna happen when I get it. I've had this, I don't know, this big, I mean, kind of over dramatic the last little bit. And my body's changing. My horns are bigger. My back aches.
Are you sure that's just a thing from you being old?
I feel like I'm past the point where I should be past the point where I'm done kind of growing. I've never heard of a tiefling that has their horns continue to grow once they're fully grown. Well, I just want you to know that I don't know what's gonna happen when I get my soul back. I don't know if I'm gonna change or if I'm gonna not be me anymore.
She cups your face in her hands. She goes, tiefling, elder being, a worm in the dirt.
Okay.
I will love you for whatever you are.
You really just pulled that.
But what if I don't love you anymore? What if it changes me and I'm not myself? Like, the me now is gone. I'm a placeholder until the real me shows up.
She just gives you like her hand, like pats your face a little bit, and goes, "Sivius, if you don't love me when you change, I will make you love me when you change. You're stuck with me. Believe it or not, you are royally stuck to me. That is a problem that you have to deal with."
It's a pretty great problem then.
You see, she kind of like does this little hair flourish where she just kind of like tucks all her hair back. She goes, "I've been told I'm pretty great, so
Don't get ahead of yourself.
hey."
Also, I have this, and I hold out a ring, and it's not the diamond ring. It's the
He just looks at it and goes, what's the ring? What's the
It's
ring
a,
about, Sivius?
So this ring, it's a magical ring, and what is it? Is it let you, the ring, it's called a ring of anti-charm, I think, and it basically makes it so that if, it will help you if someone's trying to, I don't know, magically fuck with you, you know? So I wanted you to have it just because I don't want someone to.
Mr. Steal Your Girl.
She takes the ring, and you see she looks at it for a little bit, and you see she puts it on her ring finger on the left hand. She goes, she just kind of toys with it a little bit. Goes, "I like the pseudo dragon better." And she just gives you like a small kiss on the lips again. That's when you hear people begin to come to the door.
Sivius goes, I got to, I told Sonnet that I'd join him on something just to make sure that, he's not by himself with this thing. It's late at night, blah, blah, blah. You never know.
It.
How'd you already do it?
I think that was the whole thing, is that he made me
I
go
was
through
gonna
it and then
round
come to
everybody
the
up,
house.
but
Okay.
real quick.
I thought this was all happening simultaneously.
It is, but we are going to take a break at the moment.
Pause.
Just at the end.
Unpause.
Nice.
A bunch of you begin to reconvene towards Michaelis's home. Lascivious, you go out to meet Sonnet. As you leave
Stealthy,
Michaelis's
of
house
course.
to go, you are going to be stealthy?
I am gonna be stealthy, yeah. I mean, like
Okay.
with the people inside the house, like I'll be like, hey, I'm just gonna go check on Sonnet, make sure everything's chill.
Mm-hmm.
But like when I'm actually going to Sonnet, I don't want anyone to see me, so I'm gonna stealth.
Yep.
In fact, actually, it's the end of the night, so I'm just gonna go invisible. But
okay. Yeah. So you make your way out to the house. You kind of see everybody kind of beginning to come back as you go to leave. Well, so when you leave Azra, she's just kind of like toying with the pseudo dragon, having it kind of like go around her and kind of all over kind of stuff, just kind of like playing with it a bunch. Sonnet, while you're out there doing your sigils and kind of preparing your magic, your hand begins to burn. Looking to it, you see the symbol that Cyrus had, embedded in you. It burns this incredibly bright red, and it stays there, almost as if you've been branded.
Can I like try to, like, is it trying to like tell me to do something? Can I try and like, I guess, do something in the area?
What do you want to try to do?
I well, because it was supposed to help with Teku and not them, so I'm confused as to why it's happening now. I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna in the gazebo. I guess just in the center. I'm just gonna try and see if I can like have it be placed in the gazebo instead of me, or place my palm on
Roll
the ground.
roll d20.
Oh damn! I put all my dice away for some reason. I thought it was. All right, D20. Okie dokie. That's a 14. No
14.
bonuses, right?
Yep. Nope. Just a d20.
Yeah.
Put your hand to the middle of the sigil, or to the middle of the gazebo with all the magical kind of like runes that look to be inscribed on the ground. And you hover your hand there and you try just anything. You focus. You attempt to say what could be arcane words. You do your somatic components, so you're moving your hands around trying to see if any kind of gesture works. Nothing happens.
Hmm.
The symbol doesn't burn, but it is there.
It's no longer like glowing that red.
Yeah, no,
It's yeah.
it's almost like it was burning you for a moment, but after a few
Mm,
moments of you just kind of having your hand there, it does eventually calm down. But there is now just a kind of like brightish red symbol on the area where Cyrus had left his symbol.
gotcha. Um, yeah, I'm gonna be like, oh well, Mabel might not be too pleased with that. That's another mark. I'm just gonna kind of shake it around a little bit, but
It doesn't go.
yeah. Well, when the time comes, I'm sure it'll come in handy. Um, and yeah, I'll kind of just. I'm gonna look around to see if anybody's around. I'm gonna
Currently,
like.
no, nobody's in the area.
I just don't want to seem like a fool if this doesn't work, so I'm just gonna be
No.
like, Cyrus, what the fuck is this? Like, if there's
Uh,
some sort of message in here, like, of what to do, you didn't really tell me what is actually gonna happen.
you try to invoke the name Cyrus, and nothing happens.
Yeah, that was stupid. I don't even know why I thought that. Anyways, I just put it in my pocket.
Lascivious cast message. What are you doing?
Nothing. I was no, I was yeah, no, I wasn't doing anything. I was speaking aloud. I said my wrist. I hurt my wrist. I
Okay. Be
said my
careful.
wrist. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Lascivious is
I
just
know that
like,
now.
I'm in the woods, but I'm invisible, and I'm just gonna keep to myself, but I'll be watching just for the sake of just in case.
Oh, sure. Cruel thing. And I'm just gonna start like just slowly walking through every area and placing every magical thing.
You done yet?
Well, that it ha I not yet. It's I have to go through each area. It's a lot of stuff to do.
I
Oh,
only
thought
took
you
10
could like, I
steps.
thought you could do it like all at once. So, but okay, no, that's
No,
fair. How long do you say it takes to do this?
like 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes, okay?
Okay.
I look at my hand. I'm like, people, am I right, Cyrus?
Why are you talking to your hand?
Yes. Well, no. I said my wrist. Sorry, my wrist. It
Oh,
hurts.
okay,
It's
okay, okay. Are you sure? You
yeah.
is it the spell? Maybe that's a dangerous spell to be casting.
No, it's not. I'm fine.
Okay, okay, okay.
God.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I
never mind. It's
finished
a
the
bird.
spell. Bird feet. I mess up the spell. I
It's a
lose.
bird.
Yeah, I have to start over.
Okay. 10 minutes kind of go by. You put down your magic, and you begin to. The two of you kind of convene together, just
I'm
for
still
brevity.
invisible. I'm just walking with him though.
Making Sada look insane to talk to himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either that
Um,
or my hand. So
Lascivious just looks. You must look fucking crazy right now.
Bandits are off on the side. Is looking at Son. It's like, okay, we're not touching that guy. Okay.
just a bandit guy puts down his bow.
It's like, no.
Not the right guy. For sure. Eventually, you all kind of make your way back to Michaelis' house. As you all kind of reconvene back into Michaelis' home, everybody's back and all in one place. So, is there anything you guys all say to each other before kind of go into like a night type situation?
Hey guys, so the sky messaged me.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
She's
Oh,
taking
that
a
took
little
me a
bit
moment.
longer to heal up.
Okay.
And she also said that she can sense the wave is getting closer to us.
Oh, that can't be good at all.
oh,
Yeah, so I told her to come meet us when she's ready and not go to him right away.
Yeah.
Right, because she would probably, I guess, be able to help us with the wave, but it'd be a bit better if we're with her.
Yeah.
Did she clarify like what about the wave that she sensed? Because I remember the wave said that he could feel her pain. Like, did she ever say what the wave felt like?
No. She just said that she could tell whereabouts he was.
Hmm. I guess if she didn't bring up the fact that he was hurting or something, I guess that is potentially a good thing.
Well, that's be probably something we do, I guess, after Belle's dead.
Yeah.
Why are you shushing me?
Well, just
Oh, right. You never know, I guess.
Yeah,
You
so
look tired,
just thought you guys should
Michaela.
know.
Yeah, I'm very watch this, and I shake my chest plate again, and more arrowheads fall out.
So you just
I
have
thought
a
you
coming
picked all
out.
of them
amount
out.
of arrows in your body. I could have
It's
sworn you
just-
took out at least 50 like an hour or two ago.
No, I only broke the shafts off. They're still kind of stuck in there, like
You're
the
leaving-
heads.
There's been a
you're
bit of
leaving
a
the
trail
tips
on the
in?
way back.
So you're just leaving the tips in, but you're taking the shafts out? Is that what
No,
you're
no, no.
saying?
Yeah, have you never been
Just the
shot by an
tip?
arrow?
You're just keeping the tips?
just the
No,
tip,
I'm not
Michaelis?
keeping the tips. It's until I take off my armor. Like it's like.
Right. But the
Have you never been
tips are
shot by-
still in. The tips are still in, but the
Lascivious,
shaft is out.
lascivious.
You just see you
Lascivious.
just see Asria chuckling off in the back area, just kind of.
Lascivious, have you ever been shot by an arrow? What do you do if
Yes.
you have an arrow in you?
Yes. Flat stop, yes. I take it out.
How do you take it out?
I pull it out.
That is very stupid.
It's worked every time, so I don't know.
You're pulling all your muscle out with it.
I don't agree.
It heals back.
Yeah.
Healing magic and
Oh
all.
wait, elder being right? Yeah. Okay.
Well, I don't know
so
if that
the world,
has anything to do with it.
medical logic doesn't apply to
Listen,
you. So I
we all
forgot,
sleep
sorry.
for 8 hours, and everything miraculously is fine. So
Four.
I mean,
Guys, don't question it. Don't think about it too much.
oh,
Yeah,
Wait a
I
second.
mean-
Why does that happen? I look up in the sky. Is the
I look at
water-
my own hands.
Oh!
Yeah, guys. At this point, I don't question it. Like honestly, I should be kind of dead with 80 arrows in me, but at this point, I'm just.
You want me to make it, full on? Like, it's a joke, Michaelis. My goodness.
Okay. Anyways, I finally take off the chest plate, and it's just like I have like little like the arrowheads didn't get fully through my flesh. It was just like not enough to hook, but it's just like they still
So,
hurt.
Michaelis, are you just trying to show off your body? Like, what's going on here?
I'm at
I
my
mean, yeah.
house, and I'm getting my armor off. I'm not going to my
True,
bedroom
he
with
is
my
at
armor.
his house.
Yeah,
Asria's
but
gonna
there's
speak
gas.
something. I mean, it's working.
What?
It's a joke, Lascivious. I prefer slender bodies.
I'm not slender. What are you? What
my
is this?
You're
No,
tough.
We
you're
shouldn't be a part of
tough.
this.
My goodness.
No.
Speaking of bodies, I have a mark on mine now. It's Cyrus, by the way. Azria, do you happen to know maybe anything that could tell me what it could maybe do?
Hey,
Um,
mark buddies.
Oh,
Not
no.
everyone's.
Sure. Yeah. Give me your hand.
I give it.
You see,
Unless
kind
the
of
city
like.
says otherwise. Just kidding.
Why would I say
Uh,
otherwise?
Asri kind of takes your hand and she kind of like just looks over it for a little bit.
Yeah, interesting.
That's definitely a hand.
What?
I mean, it's familiar. I've seen it in some of his writings growing up. I think it was just, I always thought of it as just a writing quirk, just a way that he would do a symbol or something.
Like a moniker?
Yeah, think of it like a signature maybe.
Right. And you have no
Did you?
insight. Oh, sorry.
I
Go ahead.
mean, did you make a deal with him?
Yes, kind of. Yes.
Is it yes or is it kind of?
It's yes.
It's yes, but
It's
yeah,
yes.
it's yes.
Well, if I can't be certain because I'm not, I'm not like him. I'm not a devil. But I would probably assume that this is a symbol saying that one portion of the deal is fulfilled.
Hmm.
Only one portion. How can you tell?
Well,
It was just the
I've seen
second half
some
of
of
the
it. Typically, when deals with devils or patrons or anything kind of happen, there is a connection
Oh,
between the two.
your half.
So
hmm
yeah, I would assume Sonnet has something that Cyrus needed to fulfill on his behalf that is yet to be done.
Then I'm assuming you got the dragon.
Yeah.
You see, like, out of like the hood of the outfit she wears, like the dragon just kind of perks up and goes, "What? Huh?"
Hmm.
I.
Yes.
But he gave me. So like, why do you have?
The deal was that he was going to get this gift given to him if he were to help me with the Tekwin situation.
Hmm. Well, I guess he hasn't fulfilled his end of the bargain yet.
Soon.
It's good to know that he is still keeping up his end of the bargains, I guess.
Hmm.
Still doing his job, in a way. I wonder what it'll do. Because, I mean, Lascivious said that he's gone.
Yeah, that's something I'm uncertain of myself. I'm not really sure what to prepare for. He didn't really leave me with specifics.
Knowing him, it'll be something with flair and dramatics.
Hmm.
Is it weird that I say I hope I'm there to see it? It's kind of like the last memento he left behind, other than, you know.
Hmm.
That's not weird. I would feel I don't want to endanger anyone else to Tekwin's hand if I can help it,
No,
but
no, that's fair. That's your thing. Whatever,
well,
well, whatever it is, I hope that you'll tell me in detail.
I kind of look over to Lascivious a little bit unsure how to proceed. And then I think I kind of just reserve myself to thought.
I think Lascivious notices that and is kind of just like, "Ugh." As much as I want to take control of that specific thing, it is not my place to make the choices. So feel free to, bring her in if you want, if that's what she wants. I just,
If she wants to be there, I would gladly, especially for a last moment with a parent. I understand that. I'm happy to facilitate that. I'm going to be very busy with the Tekwin part of it. Just making sure that everyone's there to make sure she's okay, because I can't have more blood on my hands.
well,
You'll have to just tell me about this plan, uh, perhaps when things aren't as busy right now. I
Of course.
imagine that this is something that you've been thinking about for a long time and is carefully thought out, and I wouldn't want to mess with this and potentially break something if this
Mm.
was I thank you for the gracious offering, but I'll decide for myself once I hear what your plan is.
Of course.
But thank you.
Mm.
I'm gonna go lay down for the night. I'm sorry that we couldn't be under better circumstances, that everybody gets to be together again. Lascivious, don't take too long. As she just kind of begins to walk towards Lascivious's room.
Okay.
Well, everything seems to be peachy, I guess. So,
Michaelis,
I'm
it seems
gonna-
like you're trying to like put a pin in something.
well, I've been a fucking pin cushion with all these arrows in me, so I'm
Well,
gonna
you can
put
leave
a
then.
pin in. You know, this is my house, right?
Yeah, so you can go to your room if you want. No one's stopping you.
I'm gonna look to the others, be like,
Ignore him. Just.
you know, even though people kind of forgot who the fuck I was here, I still retain some sort of power here.
I think Lascivious looks at
Walks away.
Mabel and because he like noticing that she was kind of working on the thing at when we were planning out stuff. Lascivious be like, "Is there any update with the note? I saw you working on it in the thing."
Oh yeah, do tell.
Yeah, on the cliffside. I mean, I have an idea of where to start. I've translated it into common, but it's a bunch of gibberish right now. I think I know how to approach it, but I'll maybe take a few hours tonight, see if I can't have an answer by morning.
All right,
Lots
that's
of time.
That's good.
Yeah.
good.
Should I wake you if I find anything? Or, I mean, it could probably wait until morning, right? I don't want to wake you
I mean,
all
I
up
won't
for-
be asleep, so.
It's true. Then
I
will
think for the
come and
people
get you.
that need sleep, we just have our regular scheduled, like,
Yeah.
wake up time, and we'll discuss it over breakfast. So,
If I get answers.
if
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's again no rush really, but like, you know, if you're able to solve it overnight, that's good. If it takes a little bit longer, so be it.
I'm gonna try.
All right, that's good.
If
Oh,
there isn't
two.
anything, if there's
I've-
anything else, we'll say that you all kind of break off for the night. Each you kind of return to your chambers. Lascivious going to Azria, Mabel and Sonic going to their room, Bonilia going to hers, and Michaelis going to his.
Mhm.
We'll
If
get a
you
long
don't
rest.
have anything planned, I would like to do something.
Yes. What would this be?
I think definitely she'll take some time in the middle of the night to go over the
The note.
try and decipher it.
Okay.
And I think
Tell you what, with the
Mhm.
note, I'll give you the chance to have it at this moment. There's a possibility.
amazing. Okay.
Either one of two ways. One is if you can tell me how to solve it right now.
Mhm.
And if you can't tell me how to solve it right now, I'll let you roll to get a hint to how to solve it.
Cool. So like hypothetically, like what if I told you it was done?
What do you mean if it was done? What do you mean?
Like what if I told you I finished it? Already?
How? What do you
Maybe.
mean?
Hypothetically, of course, hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
Like what if
she's
Mabel
smart,
wakes
yeah.
up, right?
Okay.
She spends a few hours, yeah?
Yeah.
And she cracks the code.
Okay.
And so she starts pacing around the room, but like quietly, but like,
Okay.
you know, peeping out the windows, making sure we're good, checking the hallways, about to wake people up, but then thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. And then realizing Bonelia's awake, but then going, oh, you know, this really pertains to a certain someone. Maybe I should like go to him first. And so I think she's gonna like get into bed again. And then maybe around like let's say dawn, like the first crack of dawn, maybe I'm thinking. Maybe she'll kind of like shake Sonnet up a little bit and be like, Sonnet, are you awake?
I am being woken up.
Yes,
no
hi, hello.
No fucking way.
Hello, honey. I have I need to show you something, or like I need to read something.
Oh. Yeah, what's up? Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Natalie, did you solve it?
I did.
Oh.
She says in character to Sonnet.
Yeah.
Okay.
You did what?
In
Well, I did say he
so
did.
Natalie, all at before, just so I can get confirmation. Not that I don't believe you, but I just
Yes.
want it to be said aloud so I know
Okay.
what was wrong. What was it?
I sent you something. The very last sentence I may be a little unsure about, but if that is
Oh
correct.
my, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So like, are we thinking A+ here or?
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I
Okay.
I thought it would taken a little bit longer. If I'm
Fortunately,
honest.
you gave it to Natalie
Hey,
to figure
almost
out.
comes by
Yeah.
with
If it was me,
Wow.
I'd be like, I have no idea what this
Bobby.
is.
Okay, so I'll say what it was just because I thought it was very fun. But I will put the solve cipher into the campaign notes as well as what the magical effect that changed it to be as well. It was the note was a cipher that exchanged every letter of the alphabet to be 5 letters later in the alphabet. So an I became an M, an O became so and so. So if you figured out that I became an M, you could then figure out that every single letter was 5 letters later.
Oh shit.
Well done. Well done. Didn't even take a day. Okay.
Technically.
Let's hear it.
So
Technically.
So what does it say?
No more gatekeeping. Let's
Okay.
hear it.
it is in the
Okay.
campaign notes.
Should I read it? I'll read it
Yes.
to Sonnet. Okay.
Please read it aloud.
I knew you'd come snooping around, Sonnet. I've learned so much about you from our shared friend. I knew there was something about you when we met in Zawar during the dinner event, but who's taunting who now? Regardless, I wanted you to see how close I am to finishing what you never had the guts nor the spine to complete. You should have stayed in that dead-end town and died with the rest of your useless family, but don't fret. Your proper death is close at hand. My hand, to be exact. Put a Tekwin-like font on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's one big
That's
threat.
Is
not
Hello?
exactly the good morning message that I'd.
No.
If you
Hopeful.
go to the campaign notes,
There's
I will
more.
say
There's
Oh.
more?
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
ciphered it, so I'm letting you save yourself some work.
Oh. I will say our friend is quite sentimental about you, though. I don't see why when it and myself have had such great success this far, but I digress. It doesn't want to kill you here. It wouldn't satisfy me. It merely wanted to send a message that you have no family, it won't hurt. The 2 brutes and the ghosts were just a taste. The lichens were a meaningful, if unnecessary, casualty, and your friends will be the final sacrifices needed. It has its eyes on one in particular, and it would be remiss of me if I didn't say I am looking forward to killing the bitch and removing the Magnolia family from the Basilisk's history for good. Then I will ascend to become the King of Zawar like he promised. That said, there is only one place he can think that serves a rightful host for him to kill you and finally ascend back into archdevilship. You know it intimately. The rain that poured that night, the blood that spilled across the floorboards, the page you covered top to bottom. It all started there, and it will end there. He did want me to relay one final message to you. Though your deal may be broken, he will keep his end of the bargain. Silas will rise, and then she will be raised to serve Tekowin as his right hand in command. He will make her the most ruthless killer this planet has ever seen, and it will be all in my name.
I
With
knew
the
it.
magical effect as well that you had saw from earlier, how letters had become capitalized.
Mhm.
You
Is there something?
also, you're very lucky you got a nat 20 on it. Otherwise, it would have been up to
Holy
you
shit.
having to figure it out. Otherwise, you also see the letter shift, and some letters are capitalized where they shouldn't be.
Oh.
Save me, please. Oh god.
Mabel.
Save me, please.
Oh,
Maple.
What?
He hid a message in the message.
Adonis
Holy
is
fuck.
Okay.
Adonis
I
is
thought-
captured.
Wait, that's creepy. Oh!
That's interesting. That he
That's
could
kind
do
of
that.
sad.
Good God.
As
I
you
fucking knew it. Oh,
so you do that
okay.
in the night or in the morning.
Oh, I did.
But as you spend the time kind of going through, this comes after your trance, I'll say,
Uh-huh.
just because of for ease of access for what this is. Everybody goes to bed for the night. A couple of things. Firstly, Bonelia, you, as you're kind of laying there, just kind of like either walking around your room, stretching your legs, going through your arcane elements and such, you feel, or actually you see this bump in the bed, like the blanket begins to rise.
There's a ghost in my room.
You see the head just kind of like,
In my boot.
you see the head just like shifts around and like has trouble finding a way out until you
Oh.
eventually just hear just like, lift the blanket, please.
Oh, yeah.
Get you face
I lift the blanket.
You see Ashanta, her head has poked out of the bed. Hello.
Hello.
Sorry to kind of come in unannounced. I was going through some of my planning for helping you and your group. And I have discovered one step into the plan for your ascension.
Oh.
And I believe it works perfectly for what you and your group have in store. You have to be able to absorb divine essence. And there's truly only one way to get it. Killing a god.
Oh.
You must be the one to inflict the final blow. No one
Oh.
else.
Okay.
I figured this would align well considering your group's plans with Loth, but in case it comes sooner, it is the first step.
Okay. Thank you.
Are you still on board for this plan, Bonelia? I sense trepidation.
I just. Well, it just me. There's just a couple of things I need to think about.
Would you like me to leave you to think?
If that's all right.
Okay. Just call me whenever you need.
Thank you.
You see, there's like a moment where she just kind of looks at you, and there's this look of a little bit of concern, but her head eventually slowly sinks back down into the bed.
Cornelia just kind of falls to the floor and like puts her head in her hands and just groans.
Okay. Alrighty. And Mabel,
Fuck Ashanta. I don't like her.
when you go into your trance, you have your trance is normally this kind of like calmish emptiness. You're just kind of meditating a bit.
Don't seem calm.
This particular night, you are trancing and you have your normal moments. But slowly, your vision becomes this vision of gray and white as fog begins to kind of come into your surrounding in this trance.
Fog.
You feel your feet hit ground. What do you do?
I think I stare out into the fog and I kind of turn around just to
Look-
kind of get a 360.
Looking around you, you are in a vast, empty space. There is nothing for what appears to be an infinite amount of space.
Mhm.
It is purely
Does-
empty except for the fog.
Does this. We know where we are, but does this feel like I've had this beginning part in a dream before? Like this scenario where I'm just like.
Roll a history check.
16?
16? It is vaguely familiar, but something is different.
Okay.
You begin to walk through the fog. Your feet are hitting the ground, and you hear the sounds of it connecting with a litany of different material. You hear it scrunch underneath leaves. You hear a sound scraping against dirt and gravel. You hear a clack against stonework. As you continue to go further, you hear a faint sound of clashing metal. This sound of clashing metal repeats over and over again. It sounds almost like swords hitting each other. You hear whacks and thuds as metal connects against wood. Continuing to move around, the area begins to take a shape. You see pillars made of stone. The ground kind of begins to lift as this fog becomes a little less and a little more clear to see. You see there is stonework and grass, and there's cracks in the earth. Looking around, you find yourself to be in the trial grounds that Nyx took you all to.
Hmm.
You see nobody in your surroundings, but the area is built pretty much exactly the same. Only some areas are slightly repaired. They look newer.
Mm-hmm.
And as you kind of go to walk close, you see it break. And rubble kind of shatters across the ground, and you hear the sounds of someone echoing and crying in pain. You hear the sounds of the metal clacking and clashing once more. And as you look around, you see blood splatter on the ground, but no source from where it's from. Continue to look around, and more of these blood splatters continue to hit. Some hit against these pillars, some go across the groundscape. Some of these flowers get painted in red. And then it dies down for a little bit.
Mhm.
And you hear another cry off in the distance. This one more familiar. You hear the sounds of a crossbow shooting and the splattering of a liquid on the ground. The area around you begins to crumble into the ruins that you see it is today. The fog begins to kind of lift up and become heavier. You see on the ground beneath the fog different kinds of armor. I want you to roll a history check once more with advantage, looking at some of the sets.
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20.
Mhm.
You see there is the same armor that Kadak was brushing off earlier today. It is laid on the ground, cracked and broken. Surrounding it, you see a litany of different weapons. There are swords, there are axes. Going further into the ruins, you see in the centerpiece, there is 3 figures. They're all moderately around the same height-ish, with the exception of one being slightly taller. They're just made out of this fog. As you get closer, that echoing sound of that cry of pain becomes more audible. And you recognize it as Sonnet's voice. The fog begins to go and lift slowly from those figures. You see Sonnet has one of those bear trap-like contraptions onto his shoulder, currently connected. His clothes is tattered and torn from what looks to be claw marks, with these gashes and wounds that are currently bleeding. Corpses lay surrounding his feet, but they're not just the Gith. There's humans and orcs and elves. The fog begins to lift from the other two figures, and you begin to see Zesu's figure. Her also covered in these wounds and her armor tattered and broken. You see Nyx in her were-tiger shape, having some gashes from her fur showing pure muscle and bone. And as you finally get a view of these three, something large casts a shadow over the entire area. You look up and there is this massive creature in the sky. And a beam shoots down. It crashes into the floor and it goes to go through the three of those figures, and you hear Sonic cry out for help once more as your trace breaks out completely torn out of your trance and into the room that you and Sonic stay in. I want you to make one last history check for me.
18.
The shape of the creature in the sky looked like a dragon. And that's where we're going to end today's session.
Nice.
I knew it. I was the first one
Ne-
to figure it out
No, what?
about Adonis.
What? That with
That
the
he
Tekun
made a
stuff?
deal with Tekwin, yeah.
Oh,
We were
yeah.
talking about that ages ago.
Yeah, I know, and I was the first one to figure it out.
What
Or
do you
decide
learn?
that that's what it was. Because
Just
there's
wanted to
no other
vocalize it.
way that made sense. Nat's just mad that she wasn't the one to figure it out first.
Yeah.
She just did the whole cipher, okay? Leave her alone.
No, that's great.
Genuinely,
Hats off.
I am astonished that you managed to figure out the cipher and then do so much of it so quickly. That's like a
Mhm.
quarter of the entire thing.
Yeah. Did you think that you had done the whole thing, Natalie, or was it were you confident in just the little bit that you did?
No, she did the whole thing.
No,
I did the whole note he posted.
But you didn't speak.
He did not post the rest of this stuff that I just read.
What do you mean?
You were using different words slightly than what was
Well,
in the
'cause
note that
she
he
was just-
posted. But I think also because maybe like the first draft was different than the one that
You know,
Walker
like so
also.
the first one you stopped at but don't fret or pathetic family or something around those lines, and there was still like the rest of the note that went, and you just stopped.
Mm.
So I thought that you only deciphered up to
So-
a point.
Here's the thing, though. That entire chunk of what Walker first posted,
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, you got this," I translated all of it,
Yeah, I don't doubt that, but
and then so the rest of what I didn't
Yeah.
translate is new. I did not have
okay.
that.
Natalie figured out and was in the middle of translating the entire thing, but knew exactly how to translate it.
No, that's not what I'm. My question.
I
here-
didn't. The chunk that I did not translate is because I didn't have that to translate. I just had the first.
But I'm pretty sure it all.
You had
you
that's the
everything.
whole
That's the whole thing.
letter.
Unless I skipped a whole chunk, which wouldn't make sense because then I would have had the ending.
But like, cause like the periods are all the same at the very end as in the last one, all in my name. It's the same thing.
Yeah, you
But you
had the
stopped at, like,
entire.
The first paragraph, or not paragraph.
so unless my eyes skipped over it, but
You might have just like glanced
it is a
through,
bunch
but you
of
like,
gibberish.
but you knew exactly what how to solve it and everything.
Mhm.
So like, just goddamn, I was expecting that to take like probably like a week or something before you guys figured out how to do it, and then it would take a little bit to actually begin to cipher it. Fuck, you had like literally the first like quarter of it already done.
I mean, I found the time to do it
It is what it is.
within the session.
That's fucking nuts, though. Just wow. I apparently I gotta put more effort into my next cipher.
But this was very fun, Walker. Very what's the word?
Wow.
Puzzles are great.
And